how you doing? Welcome to the garage. We have Rick, we have Tracy, and we have Laura, and whoever else joins us later on. So what's going on, Mr. Rick? You were talking about football or something?
Football is back on the air, but I'm trying to figure out how to get ESPN through Roku without paying. So,
Well, good luck with
Good
that.
luck.
yeah, I know. I got some technical people working on it. We should have answers shortly.
I'm trying to get a nice Beamer, BMW, and they want to keep charging me for it. I don't know.
They overheat, dude. You don't want one of them. And their electrical systems suck.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never
Yeah.
even owned one. I was just making a car up.
Get a 71 CUDA convertible.
Oh, okay.
I never owned
426
one.
Hemi.
I never drove one.
Which one?
I've never owned one, nor have I ever driven a BMW.
No?
No, never have.
I've been in one.
Closest
Hey,
thing
Ryan.
I drove was a Audi. And
Those are
thing,
nice cars.
That thing drove beautiful.
They are nice.
Yeah,
They're 8.8. You ever see that one? They're sporty one.
yeah.
Those things are wicked fast.
Yeah.
You know, you pay so much
Hey.
money for rental cars, it gets to a point where you're like, if you're spending that much, you may as well spend a little more and get a luxury car.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder what the availability is on average, though. It's
Did you
probably-
guys see the new Hellcat electric?
No.
It's got the sound of a race car, an electrical sound. It's a imitate. I don't know how I feel about it yet. If you get a chance, look it up though. But they're not divulging hey Dar,
Hey,
they're not divulging the horsepower.
What's a Hellcat?
A Dodge Charger.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
okay.
Okay.
It's an electric one now.
Electric cars are wicked fast.
Well, the guy from Dodge is on there and he says, we didn't really want to, but we had to. And he introduces it. And it's even got the sound, but it doesn't, it almost sounds like a Jaguar got his nuts caught in a trap. If you can imagine the sound.
I'm imagining it now.
Hey, Dan,
Okay,
can you
so-
cue that up?
It
Yeah.
Hit the
sounds,
button. Hit the
it
button.
doesn't
Yeah,
sound
that's
right.
fine.
Hit the Jag button.
Does somebody got their info thing? You can look up that car.
Hmm.
Don't everybody jump at once.
Like a Google looker?
Yeah, Laura's
Hellcat.
on it.
Hellcat.
It's nice though, the paint and everything, the
Yeah,
body
for-
style.
Make for a good t-shirt.
But they're saying that anywhere like 1,400 horsepower, it's going to equate to.
Hmm.
That's fast.
Well,
for an
they've got
electric car.
2022 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat review pricing.
36,000, 40. Oh,
I'm seeing the
36,000.
2023.
That's cheap.
Yeah, the 2023
nope, that's a
starts at
Challenger.
80 grand.
No,
The electric one, Trace?
Oh, let me look.
Oh yeah, I didn't look up electric. I looked up.
Yeah, it's the electric one.
Now, is the Hellcat electric exclusive, or is there a gas engine equivalent?
There's a gas engine equivalent, but I guess they're going to stop
Yeah.
doing it pretty soon.
Mega Power Supercharged V8, 4-door cabin.
No, I think it's a supercharged 9-volt.
9-volt.
All I know is that he put money for the Tesla pickup, the electric pickup. He gave the $100 deposit. So if and when they become available,
That
He's
was
like
on a
this-
show a couple years
that
ago.
looks like a spaceship. You know,
Yeah, it looks like something out of Star Trek.
Hey,
Yeah,
get
it's pretty
this.
cool.
There's a red eye model. They claim the horsepower is boosted to 797.
Yeah. You
Wow.
can get it up to 810 with a chip.
And then it says with the jailbreak package,
It's over
Jailbreak.
1,000.
it's if you opt for that, then they're talking 807
Yeah.
horse.
Wow.
Nothing on the electric one though?
I mean, those are more than the Hemis had.
Oh God, yeah. The 426 Hemi back in 71 had 425 horse.
Right.
That's what they factory rated.
It's
There's
saying
one
they're
about
fake,
500.
it's gonna have a fake exhaust sound.
Yeah, that's
Like-
it. Now listen to that exhaust sound. It's like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with
Let's see. Let's see if they play it.
it.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the gas engine on this thing.
Can you hear it? Hang on. I need to switch to my she shed Wi-Fi.
What's her name?
Virus infection.
Ooh,
Shouldn't it be called Sci-Fi?
That is amazing. That is sick.
That's a fake exhaust noise.
yeah. What do you think of it?
It's a lot of money. I'd rather just have my little pickup truck for that kind of money.
What are you
Not
gonna do
even.
when all the motorcycles go electric?
Electric motorcycles are badass too.
I
Yeah,
don't know, man.
Yeah,
They
they're
don't
pretty
they
cool.
don't sound like a Harley, but those things are fast.
Oh
They
yeah,
sound
they
like-
are.
Singer sewing machine. Oh, God, I got nuts. I was taking a nap before we got on the call because normally I'm all tired and have to go. I'm like, I need a nap.
So you're good till 2 a.m.
Maybe we'll see. I
Yeah.
was up before the shower making all those gifts, and everything turned out really nice.
Nice.
And centerpieces were beautiful, and
Hmm.
I made 200 koozies for a wedding on Saturday. Yesterday,
Yeah.
Wow.
I witnessed some of that. It was pretty cool.
200.
200
What
Like,
you
you know-
make? 200 what?
koozies. Hang on, I'll show you. Oh, I
That
got
had,
one that was askew, so I couldn't give it to her.
that had to take some time.
It took.
She's
me
got
a
it down to a science, actually.
minute.
What are you
Well, that-
drinking, Trace? Looks good, whatever it is.
Is that an
Uh,
IPA?
Yeah. No,
So-
not at all. It's a total concoction.
So that's the back of it, the fun party,
The fun party.
Okay.
and
I like it.
this is crooked, so I didn't give it to them, but that's their thing.
Oh,
Alex-
it's the thing for a can.
Beer koozie, yeah.
I
koozie.
had no idea what that was
Yeah,
called.
the koozie.
I forgot they were called that. That's cool.
And then
Hey,
you
that's
know,
the word for today. That's good.
it starts out on a piece of paper like that. You know, you
Yeah.
print it out, then you put it on the blank, and then it turns into that.
It reminds me of Coochie.
Yeah,
Coochie, coochie, charo.
I got your charo.
Coochie, Coochie,
And then yeah,
Coochie.
it starts
Coochie.
out like that, white, and then if you accidentally do it both on the same side,
Huh.
it fucks it up.
Wow.
And so I'll probably
Ironically,
some-
that's the keeper.
try to blacken that side and put something else on this. Maybe they're not. I did like 6 of them like that by accident.
Does
That's
your
when I said-
printer have like big ink containers?
Yeah, my new one does. It's an Epson 570 printer.
Do you know much about those printers? I
A little bit.
I just learned something which I never really heard about until recently. When you get it, if you're an artist and you wanna, instead of selling the original, you get a print of it, and then you sell
Yep.
the prints, and then you do the.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess there's one printer that they use that's real popular. It's called a Gisley printer. Did you ever hear that? They're made by
Gisley?
Epson. Yeah, I think it's GIS or not GICLEE. I think
Hang on.
it's made by Epson though. But it's like a super it prints with like 12 colors.
Yeah, digital ink, fine art reproduction. Mm-hmm.
Am I
Wow.
saying that wrong? What is it,
Um,
like Gisley or something?
I heard of
Gick- Gick
Shaq O'Neal does that on a commercial.
How do you
Um,
spell it? I know I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, you GICLE. So it
Oh, I
might
was
be like
right.
Gisley.
It's
Yeah.
Gisley.
That's Rick's Gisley. But there's a place in Knoxville that does it. Now, something that I could do is like I print on the paper and I can put it on like poster board. I can put it on a canvas, so maybe you should send me one of your pictures, like give me a good picture of your picture, and I'll try to maybe put it on like a little canvas just for fun to see how it'll work.
Oh,
Because
that
that
would be
gives me
cool.
something to practice.
How do you source your materials? Do you do like a wholesale purchase?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I purchase from wholesalers. I purchase blanks. Like if I purchased 2.5 months ago blanks from China to sublimate and do ornaments and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But then there's local people. Like I got these local at a wholesaler, because when you're a business, you can get some things. But I have a small business license. I don't have my like state tax ID, so that limits me on some things.
Wow.
Because unless I make over $12,000, then I don't have to worry about the more expensive business license. So,
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
but I'll probably become an LLC in Tennessee because I used to be an LLC. That way, limited liability, just in case somebody walks in here and hurts themselves.
Yeah,
But I have
right.
to wait till the electric is finished being run, and then I
There's
get
a-
a prop.
There's a song about that.
What?
I'm an LLC. Yeah, you know me.
Oh yeah.
Don't hate me. I'm sorry.
Well, that's my maiden name, Laura Lee Castillo. So LLC.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Your middle name's Lee?
Lee, yeah.
Oh,
Laura Lee.
I was named after that movie. We were talking about that 2 weeks ago.
Laura Lee.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
Laura Lee.
Well, I remember that. Laura Lee.
Laura Lee.
If you look it up, it's a movie
See,
from.
why is it we can remember everything about a movie? But we can't remember shit about daily life and stuff.
Because our long term is better than our short term.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's who my mom named me after. There's a Laura Lee, and there was a movie.
A
Because we were
loopy.
talking about all those songs with our names in them. Remember?
Oh, I
Oh, yeah,
remember
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Rick, don't feel bad. It took till then for me to figure out where we were too. So
Yeah, but you're smart. You don't say shit until you do figure it
that's
out.
right.
I do remember the conversation about our names in a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laura Lee was I don't know. It was a movie. I think the movie was just called Plain Old Laura.
Huh.
Now I got Elvira going in my head, Buddy Oakridge voice. Thanks a lot.
Elvira.
Elvira.
I heard that on the radio the other day. It was a 1944 film,
Wow.
Laura, with
During the
Gene
war.
Tierney and Dana Andrews, and that's who I was named after.
So maybe your mom and dad, that was one of the movies they went and seen before little Laura was
I was
conceived.
gonna say, I know we're going into a deep dark place here.
Not
But I
deep
don't-
dark, but
I gotta get the
You
plane.
don't know if it was light.
memories.
You don't know if the lights were
Look
on.
how clear that is. Wow.
I don't think I look like Gene Tierney though.
Yeah, she was a big deal back in the day. And
Yeah,
Dana Andrews did a lot of work too. He was in the best years
I mean,
of our lives.
yeah.
See, they didn't have filters back then.
It was kind of, well, are you talking in terms of content? Like, are you talking about? No, I'm what I'm.
Filter.
No, I
Facial
know.
filters.
You're just-
Facial filters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had
They had
filters
makeup
for
in it,
everything.
but-
I think so. Remember
Yeah,
they
they
used to
absolutely
talk
did.
about the gauze, putting the gauze in front of the woman's face to soften her features.
Yeah, they had all kinds of tricks.
And do you remember the show Moonlighting with Sybil
Oh,
Shepherd?
that was a great show.
There was a lot of rumors that they filtered her looks on the show. And then they even had a goof on it where at one point she's like holding up gauze in front of her face and then she brings it down. They were like having a goof on it. Do you guys
Oh,
remember
really?
that?
No.
I remember the show.
Yeah.
I remember Miami Vice too at the start of that show.
Sybil Shepherd was a beauty.
She was.
She was really known.
She was a cover
as
girl,
a
wasn't she?
model.
I think she
Yeah,
was actually, yeah.
She was really
Yeah.
a model and then got involved in acting. And, there was a time where she was, and Moonlighting was huge.
Because was that Bruce Willis on there?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
when
that
he still
yeah.
had hair.
I've never seen that show.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Not
that was
one
a big-
episode. I've never seen it.
That's interesting because that was a big deal.
Because she seemed though like she'd be just. I wouldn't want to piss her off. She
Well,
seemed like she'd be that.
She always had a reputation as being difficult.
Yeah,
And they had a lot of trouble on that
good
show.
word.
They had a lot of trouble on that show, and the writer, he couldn't write them fast enough, and then they couldn't air episodes, and then things were digressing every which way, and then the main characters weren't working, and there's
Now that-
probably some sort of book out there.
That
about
didn't
that.
have a long run, did it?
No, it was relatively short,
Couple seasons at the most.
maybe at the most. Yeah, it was mid 80s,
But-
85, 86
But back
into
then,
87.
your season went from fall to spring every week.
Yeah.
Now a season is like 10 to 20 episodes.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
The NBC shows, they do 22 a year. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of gaps. They do it purposefully. They'll say, we're on fall break and look for us, on January 6th.
Yeah, which is kind of, I miss that, school year routine with shows. And, then you had the summer off, and
Yeah.
now it's, oh, I got to watch TV in the summer if I want to catch what's going on. Oh,
Hey, know what I just started watching,
Uh,
and I'm probably 30 episodes in, maybe more. The Good Wife. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
It's really good, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
reason
Is she really a good wife, or
yeah, she is.
Is
She
she an
stands. She
evil,
stands by her man
manipulating-
most of the time.
she's what now?
She stands by her man most of the time,
Huh.
even though he was a cheater.
Allegedly.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, how about that? Wow.
But
I heard his
actually,
name-
the reason I started watching it was because I watched The Good Fight, and The Good Fight is a spinoff of The Good Wife.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I watched all of The Good Fight, and then then there was some reference to The Good
Yeah.
Wife
Yeah. You're
somewhere
back.
else, not on the show. And then I started watching that because I ran out of episodes of The Good Fight. And The Good Wife is really good, though, too.
Huh.
Both of them
Yeah, I
are really good series.
Yeah, I just watched Bridgerton. It's a period piece about women in society in the 1800s. And, it just reminds me of how lucky I am to be alive now, because I don't think I could have been the submissive woman who has to have a man to have her identity and not be able to touch my money and stuff. I'm like, oh Lord, I wouldn't have made it. I would have been a total.
But you know what? You're thinking that's from a long time ago. I remember my mom couldn't get a credit card.
Yeah, my mom could not get a
Yeah.
house.
And it's
her name-
because unless would be my stepdad had to sign for her to get it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. And my mom got married. Actually, she married her second husband in part so she could get the house. And when we moved to Old Justice, because she couldn't get it on her own.
Yeah,
You couldn't- you
unreal,
couldn't be a
right?
spinster and own a home.
Nope.
They-
You couldn't
they
get the
would-
loan. Banks won't
Today, yeah.
wouldn't give you a loan.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
Tracy,
people,
some people don't know what spinster means, so be careful.
I do.
Well, it's an old fashioned term.
Oh, I know what it is.
And then,
I
and
was-
But a lot of
immediately-
people, when you say spinster, they think of sphincter.
no, well, so spinster is just an unmarried woman.
I know what it is, Trace.
Yeah.
I was 34 and I hadn't been married yet and had no prospects. And I remember living with my aunt when I was 30. I mean, and
Where the
she
hell
goes,
was
"Does it
I?
bother you?" She goes, "Does it bother you that you're like 30 and you have no prospects for marriage and no children?" And I'm like,
Jesus.
Aunt Grace, it wasn't bothering me until you just said something, because it didn't phase me. And then I thought,
Wow.
oh my gosh,
That was
but
kind of harsh.
Yeah. I think a lot of
but
times
that's that
it's
old school thinking.
equating
Yeah, I know.
purpose with.
Where the hell was I during all this, Laura?
I don't know.
Damn.
Living
were-
in,
You were probably drunk.
Probably
I was probably drunk too, man. I did a lot of drinking until I had my
drunk and
accident.
snorting a burrito.
Oh, well, you were probably going to I was at El Farol Grill. You were probably across the street at El Famous.
Yeah. Our burrito paths never crossed.
That's right.
That could be a book.
Our burrito paths never crossed.
Your burrito.
A love
fate.
story about
Never
spicy
was.
pepper, meat and potatoes.
I heard it's a spicy film.
It
I was
is.
gonna say Spicy Pepper almost sounds like a porn star name.
There's one episode where I forgot to wash my hands. Things got pretty interesting.
Wow.
That bird!
There you go.
Holy shit.
Was that Rosie Rita or Rosarita?
That was the two-fisted Whopper version.
I'm so bad. Look at Dan just put his head down and chuckles.
I just picked up my phone. I got an alert. I'm trying to see who it was.
Oh,
Is it
okay.
Gina?
I'm not there yet.
So how's streaming going, Tracy? With your new Chicago show, PD.
You know, wait just a second. Time out.
I can
Trace, you
never-
never said what was in that concoction.
Oh, yeah. So it's a Rockstar energy drink, passion fruit, and then I poured in some Woodford Reserve.
Boy, you like that Woodford, huh?
Yeah,
You put it on your
Reserve.
cereal in the morning?
not yet. That would be
Yeah.
that would be interesting.
What's Woodford?
It's
It's a
it's really top end bourbon.
Mm.
And they
Um,
have one of the most beautiful, beautiful distilleries. Have you ever been there?
I have quite a story to tell about that, and maybe I've already told it. But one year for Run the Bluegrass, which I've done, for years in a row, I would do Run the Bluegrass, and the race directors were able to get a building on the campus of the Woodford Reserve. So there's this long winding road that you have to
Along the
follow.
course. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
pretty.
and it's beautiful. So Dara and I are like, we pull up and there's all these cars parked in front. And I say to her, I go, this is, I guess they're here, and then we get out, we see all these people really dressed up. And I'm like, boy, I don't recognize any of these people. So we're still walking to the building, Then there's a photographer outside. Oh, we'll take your picture. And so we're holding our race medals thinking, oh, this is awesome. We're going to have
His
photos.
wedding.
We walked, Dar and I walked into a $10,000 a plate fundraiser that was being televised. And we basically crashed the party.
Nice.
And it took us like an hour to we had to leave because at some point we're going to get found out. But we were sort of hobnobbing with these people. And we're like, hey, do you know Eric? The race director? No, I don't know Eric. It was bizarre. It was like Theater of the Bizarre. So we managed to get out of there. And then we drive even further. We're looking around. At one point, we were watching the barrels. This is on a Saturday night. We're watching the barrels just sort of roll out of the distillery.
Mhm.
And we're still not sure where the building is. It was this old building built in the 1790s. And there was like a group of 20 people. It was a small group.
Yeah, isn't it cool? It's
And we
such
finally made the party that we were supposed to go to.
yeah, that's my favorite property. But the owners and the people who run, like when you go into the first part of the distillery for the testing and tastings and stuff, they're not, because we've done the Bourbon Trail twice on our motorcycles 2 years in a row. And they're just not motorcycle people friendly. And I'm like, do you realize how much money these people have to spend? If they can afford these Harleys, they can afford to buy your stuff.
Yeah, I've always heard that, the average rider has a great income. They have great disposable income. They're spenders, they enjoy their
Doctors,
money.
lawyers. We had
Yeah,
one guy in
yeah.
the group. He was literally a rocket scientist. That was his job.
I'm surprised.
Rocket
I'm really
scientist.
surprised by the Woodford response to the rider community.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wild turkey was pretty cool.
Knobs.
But I mean, maybe it's because we were there like the last hour of their day. I don't know. And there was only like 20 of us, but they just kind of look at you differently. But the grounds guys going to there, Kentucky has some beautiful horse places.
I love that
and just-
region. I just love going there. And we've missed it the last couple of years, but I just love going down there. It's like rites of spring because we would always go at the end of March and to do the race and to hang out, do a long weekend. One of my favorite
Now,
places.
doesn't Kentucky known to be like having some of the most expensive horses in the world?
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
so-
Oh, yeah,
The
Derby. That's
horse
Derby.
auction at Keeneland in Lexington, it is the richest in the world.
who is that trainer that has his stables down there?
Well, there's many horse farms in and around Keeneland.
He just got suspended for
Talking
something.
about Babbert?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's $3 million a horse, $4 million a horse, some of them things.
Yeah, so people from around the world will fly into Lexington. The airport is right near Keeneland, and the horse auction is done at Keeneland. And it's the richest horses in the world.
Yeah,
that are auctioned.
it's big money in
It's
that area.
huge.
My niece lives in Richmond. That's where I went for the baby shower. And Lexington's right there, and there's big money in Kentucky and old money, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
A lot of old architecture too.
It's beautiful.
The downtown Lexington is interesting too. There's a lot of properties that date all the way back, 1790s. These brick structures. It's really a cool place. Really like going down there.
So is Lexington close to what'd you say, West Virginia? Or Virginia?
It's sort of close to like Ohio, West Virginia. So we're talking central Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Lexington is considered central.
North Central?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting how like Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky all sort of have that convergence.
It's pretty out there though. The hills
Yeah.
are nice, grass is green. It's really pretty country.
And then the rolling hills
Yeah.
are
There's a when you're driving down, I think it's 24, you go through Tennessee, Georgia and back to Tennessee, or is it Tennessee?
Oh, when you're
Yeah.
going through Tennessee, you go through Tennessee, and then you get into Georgia, and then all of a sudden you're in Tennessee again.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
like, fuck,
right.
what did I do? I missed an exit somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Indiana and Ohio are like that too. You'll be driving, then it's like you're in Indiana. Now you're in Ohio, and it's like it bounces.
Yeah.
That's on that highway to hell I was talking about.
Ah,
Once you start going down this mountain, you're like going down.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
And then your ears actually start popping. It's
My little
such a
sister threw up in my
change.
S10 when we were driving over it.
oh wow.
I told her to look out the window, and she's like, "Oh!" I said, "Oh man,
Yeah,
no
that
I'm
was
break,
finding
wild.
baby."
the twists and turns here. I'm not used to these twisties at all yet, but I'm getting.
Well, they got those runoffs too, and all the signs are blinking yellow and slow down and low
Yeah.
gear for semis.
Scared going around the big curves up at the angles, because before I'd be like, as soon as cars
Yeah.
come up,
You know what would be the scariest job, I think, driving down that mountain, though, you guys, is a tow truck driver with a rig behind you.
Yeah, how about it?
They
The-
got those runoffs.
How does that even happen?
The scariest roads I've ever been on were the ones in I can't remember if it's Malibu or the town next to Malibu, which I don't know what it is.
Highway
Are
10.
Are you talking Pacific Coast Highway?
Yeah, but it's not Pacific Coast Highway. It's actually like side roads that go off of Pacific Coast Highway,
Yeah.
and they
yeah.
like climb in the mountain area
Oh, wow.
of it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what the area we were in, but we
You
were
don't
with
know
Max
what's
one
coming up
time,
next.
and Max was showing us where
Oh, hang on, guys. I'm so sorry.
that's okay.
I'm gonna jump out.
So Max was showing me some things in Malibu. He showed me where he used to live, his house, and where some of his friends used to live in areas. And there's because of the droughts and the floods. Because are you guys familiar with the weather in California? It's wild.
Oh,
They'll have-
it's one extreme to another.
Yeah, they'll have these droughts, and the droughts kill off a lot of the vegetation. So now you've got all these plants that normally would be rooted into the soil to keep the
Mhm.
the earth from landsliding during the floods, and then all of a sudden it starts monsooning. All this
Yep.
big rain comes down,
Yeah.
and it will we were driving down these roads, and all of a sudden the lane just would end because one of the floods knocked out one of the lanes, and they didn't, get a chance to fix it.
Mhm.
So you're going, and all they do is just have a sign, lane ends, and then you would have to cut over, and then hope that there wasn't another car coming at you
Holy cow.
until the road opened up.
That's messed up.
And it's not like you would fall 10 feet. You know what I mean?
You were going
These were
down.
like cliffs but it was really scary. Like I said, because there was no warning. Like, it's just all of a sudden
Yeah.
2 lanes. Now it's 1 lane. And then, down the road, it'll become 2 again.
See, I
That's
think
how-
at Cliffs, go ahead.
I say that's how it was in Hawaii on I think it was Maui when I went with Avon. You'd get these big buses and cars would have to totally stop, and if you weren't watching, somebody was backing up a long way either way on these curves around the mountain, around the volcano parts. It's pretty scary.
I bet.
Yeah.
Never been to Hawaii.
I was there. It was cool.
Yeah, never
I was
been to
on
Hawaii.
Oahu and Maui, once with my college boyfriend's family for like 3 weeks, and then I went for like 4 days. When I was an Avon district manager, I won a trip, or I didn't really win it. I earned it. I worked my ass off.
Nice.
And got to go.
Yeah, I went there with Max for a while. Forgot what it was. I think it was like 7 days or something. We went there. I did some filming for him.
Oh, wow.
But it was on Honolulu, the Big Island.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was on the first one.
So
It's
it's cool.
When you were there, Dan, did you ever use the term Pukamdano?
No,
All right.
I've heard it though many times.
That was a great show.
Yeah, we took mopeds when we were on Oahu. We took them all around the whole island. We even got on the highway. We weren't supposed to, but we saw the sign getting off, and we were already up at the North Shore. But it's pretty. But I think that after a while, you miss being
You
able
go to
to.
a luau, either one of you?
Yeah, twice.
One of the hotels that were near us had one of those. So we just kind of
We had-
crashed it.
Nice.
Hilton Hawaiian Village was the big little shopping center. We stayed at Discovery Bay condominiums. We weren't in a hotel. We were in condos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That
it was
seems like a
cool.
good arrangement.
Yeah, it was nice. The parents
I
had and the kids
I
had
forgot
no.
what hotel we were in.
I like the name of the flowers too.
Yeah, we were right across from
Lays.
the Thai hotel. And I remember watching my boyfriend, his brother, and his dad all in their little tidy whities one morning. I woke up because it was Christmas time, and we got a telescope, and there they all are looking at all the people in the Ely Kai hotel. And you wouldn't believe what people would do with their windows wide open,
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dan, do you have a soundtrack for that?
I haven't seen
No.
it, but I can imagine it. I'm doing it now.
It was pretty wild. Oops, sorry. My computer screen came back on.
Speaking of that, I used to do work downtown Chicago, with a lot of the rich people. That's where they would have like sort of like a second home kind of thing. Basically, it would be a place to party downtown,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't have to drive into the suburbs when they
Right.
were done. So they were just
Yeah, right.
like basically a weekend crash place.
Yeah. Wow.
And all of them had these giant telescopes. And I
Mhm.
couldn't figure out what that was all
Yeah.
about. That all of them
Okay.
had, I'm thinking, okay, it's for looking out at Lake Michigan, but
The
they were
beach.
all facing towards the city.
Yeah.
They weren't in the, facing towards like where the boats would be. And then I finally realized that, it's for looking
They're
up other people's
peeping.
windows. And everyone
Mhm.
else has them. When you look through it, you can see everybody's in their windows too. So it's a big peep show downtown.
You're looking at the rings around her anus.
Oh my.
And then some.
Hell yeah.
It was funny, they were good people. They were really nice people.
Well, a lot of them communicate that way too, Dan.
Oh yeah?
You ever see Frasier when they were doing it?
No, I never seen that
Oh
episode.
my God. Talking to the girl across the street.
Yeah.
Tracy,
Yeah,
you got a telescope?
No, I've never had one. No.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Danny
I
has
had-
one. We bought one for him when he was, I don't know, probably maybe 15 or 16. Like a stargazing one.
Yeah. I got one of them for 20 years when I worked at ITW.
Oh, wow.
And I had it out in front of my mom's house one night. We're looking at the moon. And I swear to God, I go out this when I was still drinking and shit. I go and I look at it now because I was fixed on the moon 10 minutes ago. I said, somebody stole the fucking moon.
Oh,
I forgot it moved.
Oh,
what's really cool is right out here. I walked out of my front door, and I looked outside, and the Big Dipper was like right there in front of me. Because up north,
Hmm.
it's like the Big Dipper's way up and far. It was like maybe just but it's like right in front of us. It's like you could almost reach out and touch it.
now
was-
your elevation, are you on the high side or are you like in a valley?
No, I'm on the high side. We're like the Cumberland Plateau. Let me see what the elevation is. I will.
Have you
Google
ever
that.
seen Northern Lights?
Elevation of Oakdale, Tennessee? Mm-mm.
I've seen them a couple times from Moments here. It's pretty wild, man. It's like a green. It's weird. It really is.
Well, we're only 853 feet above sea level.
okay. I was going to say, I didn't think it was real high,
There was,
No,
did you
kind of
guys see
like-
that post a couple days ago, maybe, or yesterday, that the Northern Lights are going to be visible coming up?
But the highest.
No, I didn't
elevation-
see that, Rick.
Yeah.
I didn't. Highest elevation is 1,300 feet around here because we're not at the highest points. We're kind of at.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're in the hills.
you're still high though. Like Rick, he's high.
Nope. You've been
How
called
close, Laura, how close are you to the Appalachian Trail?
up.
Can you hear banjos?
About 2 hours. each way. 2 hours from Nashville, 2 hours from Pigeon Forge, 2 hours from Chattanooga. And
Okay.
so it's about an hour and a half.
Okay, so you're pretty central, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just west of Knoxville.
How far are you from Glens Fork?
From I don't know.
They had a chalkboard for their population.
Har.
We went there one summer and oh man. First time I ever seen an outhouse, a real one.
But you would
Right.
think a small town would have the same population, it wouldn't change much.
So
Unless
I'm
somebody
gonna.
got out of line,
And it was a dry county. Oof, miserable weekend.
It's amazing how that can still exist.
Dry counties?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
or towns. Remember how
We
South
went to a bootlegger, and this is back in 81, maybe. And I gave a friend of mine's uncle $20. He came out with a 24-pack, 16-ounce Old Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay, that's probably $12, $10. I put my hand out for change, and he goes, "You didn't get no change."
You owe me 5.
No, he goes, "That's hazard pay." It's okay.
Ah!
Not gonna argue with you. But he did get us some shine.
That's industry right
And he
there.
told me and my buddy Bob, he says, "Boy, sip this. You don't swig it like you're in Chicago."
Huh?
Did we listen? No.
No.
I couldn't see the TV after 3 fucking shots. It was wicked, man.
Oh, man.
You ever drink
Trying to
moonshine?
bring- Oh yeah, I got lots of moonshine.
You don't want to
All
light a
right.
cigarette for like 20 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna hold up this little map. Oop,
Okay,
let's see if we can see it. Do you see the blue dot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
barely.
Dot is Oakdale.
Okay.
That's
Well,
where
pretty
you're
close
at.
to Knoxville.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes drive. And then the Appalachian Trail is like where those red things are.
Okay.
So it's only like, not even like 2 hours tops
Hmm.
to get there to
How long
parts
is
of it.
that trail?
I don't know. It takes you 5 to 7 months to hike it, though. That's, if you
Yeah,
hike it.
so I know a guy who was basically running it, and he was on that trail for 46 consecutive days.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he
How
was
many miles a
crewed-
day?
so it varied. It was kind of like
Kind of like
Oh.
Forrest Gump, huh?
it's kind of like ultra marathoning every day. So ultra marathons is kind of starts at 50 kilometers, which is 31, plus miles. And this guy was doing mileage like every day and living on the trail. He was crewed by his father. He had the van and would just sort of follow. And it was just incredible. Like
Now,
every day.
what is that famous for? I
So
know I've heard of it, but I don't
the
know.
Appalachian Trail just connects like the whole country.
Appalachian Mountains.
It's like 2,000 miles.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right, Dan. There's something history about that, right?
Was there some kind of some kind of Indian thing that went down there or anything that you remember?
Well, I would imagine that to be true, that it existed and then ultimately, became part of all of the various settlements.
Well, who made it famous?
Okay, 10 things you should know about the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, good. We got a list.
It goes across 14 states.
14
Wow.
states.
Flat sections are few and far between. Its creator allegedly dreamed it up while sitting in a tree. Nobody attempted a through hike for many years. Some Appalachian Trail hikers go for speed. Trail hikers don't necessarily need a tent. Nearly everyone uses a nickname. The trail faces a number of environmental threats. I can go into detail if you want, but I'll just read the
Wow,
highlights.
that's interesting.
Hiking
yeah.
the Appalachian Trail now has a second meaning. Where's the rest? I hate when all the ads pop up.
Don't you hate that shit?
Oh yeah, that's the 10th thing.
Nothing about banjo music or Run for Your Life?
Oh, the second meaning for the Appalachian Trail is when South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford disappeared from the state capitol for 6 days in June of 2009.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Staff claimed that he was hiking the Appalachian Trail, but he's actually in Argentina with his mistress.
Right.
Nice.
Unlikely story.
He came back with a beard, smelled funny.
So that is just a teeny bit of
That
history.
was good.
See, I'm a Google searcher. I can
I
help.
know, I see that.
Filling in for Gina.
You're doing a good job.
I'm trying, but
What are you drinking, Laura?
Coke,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola. I don't drink much because after my accident, I stopped drinking because of the seizure medicine.
Yeah. I had a taste for
brief
beer
history.
yesterday.
So it's a 22,190 mile trail.
2190. That sounded familiar.
Damn.
Yeah.
And where does it go from where to where? Does it say like where does it start? Where does it end?
Trail snakes most of its way through a majority of the East Coast, not just the Appalachian Mountains. Georgia, winding its way through Appalachia before ending at the summit of Katahdin. How do you say it? Katahdin. Katahdin, Maine.
How do you spell it?
Maine. It goes all the way to Maine.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Katahdin.
Cattywampus.
Well, they say it goes through 14 states. So
That's a lot.
Maine to Georgia.
Yeah.
Don't forget how many states there are on the East Coast though that are real
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, true. Like when I rode the train from Boston to Baltimore, we went through several states in the span of 7 hours. It was
I know
one after the
when you
other.
live in the Midwest or even the West, states are giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're
Like going through Illinois, Indiana.
yeah, exactly. Those are some
Illinois is
long ass
forever.
states.
Yeah,
Yeah, Illinois just
Takes
goes
you
forever.
4 days to get through Texas.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh well,
is
Texas,
huge.
that's insane.
God.
Yeah, massive.
That's like a big as a country almost. I mean, it is
It's,
actually.
But it's
it's
funny
big-
how you can take the whole state of Texas and put it in Alaska. That's how big
And
Alaska.
you know what? I think they should do that.
Oh, okay, just for you, Dan.
Let's just switch them. We'll bring Alaska
Another
down
instant
here. We'll put
request.
Texas up there.
That would be an engineering marvel.
Wouldn't that be weird? Waking up where Texas used to be, and there was Eskimos.
Freezing your ass off. You got no winter clothes. What the fuck is going on?
I remember watching some program about it was a female who lived in a extremely remote part of Alaska.
Was this a
And
porno?
she would talk about, well, now that you're leaving, I probably won't see another person for 6 months. And then she started to cry.
Is that like the Alaska Bush people?
And I'm
Tracy?
like, how do you go through life like that? It's incredible. Like, how do you survive that? It's
There's a
just-
place up in Alaska where you're not allowed to live if you're a normal person. Have you ever seen that?
Right. The bush.
Where the homesteads were passed on from their great
Yeah,
grandparents?
but they're saying that the homesteads are only going to go the one generation of the family, and it won't go to the kids after that on that one
I
show.
thought it went to the kids.
Well, after that generation, that's it. They're only allowing one more generation to homestead.
Is that
So they
right?
said- but I'm not
Wow.
sure of all the facts. Here's an interesting tidbit for you guys. How much does it cost to hike the Appalachian Trail for a
$22.
5 hike? How much? 22?
$22.
It says the average cost, you need $5,000 to $7,000
Damn.
for a 5 to 7 month hike. That includes gear, trail, resupply, and town expenses. Expect to spend about $1,000 a month hiking.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that whole eating thing.
Yeah, the trail
Yeah.
expenses are $15.
Do they
a
have
day.
gourmet restaurants on the trail? What?
Probably not. Just
Yeah,
bring me.
Yeah.
A lot of sonic driving stuff.
Well, that's it. I closed my phone now till the next tidbit of data is needed.
Do we have any
Okay.
Sonic fans on the call?
I don't like their food, but they got really good milkshakes.
Yeah, it's interesting how the drinks are like kind of the thing, you know.
Chick-fil-A's got the peach one out still. The
They have
shake.
one with peanut butter in it, like real peanut butter in the middle. It's
Mhm.
so good. I've
No,
only had it
have you seen those Sonic movies? I heard those are really good.
Mm-mm.
The Sonic 2 is supposed to be like really good. Like
Oh, the
better than
Hedgehog?
original. Yeah, yeah. Right?
No, I've never seen one.
They're supposed to be really good.
Really?
They're like a kid's grown-up movie.
And I've
Huh.
never seen, what is it, the Despicable Me ones with the Minions? I've never seen.
Oh,
them.
those are great.
Yeah.
Banana.
Just have to be in the right mood for it, I guess.
I was watching it
I-
yesterday.
I think those
But
are
there's
on Paramount Plus, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
I was just telling the guys earlier, Tracy, I just watched Hocus Pocus, the original one.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna have to
But
watch. Who'd you
it's a
watch it on?
big- I watched it on I think it was Paramount Plus. No, Disney Plus.
Oh, that's another one you got.
Because
I think I'm on that though.
Disney Plus is only $7.99 now, but it's gonna go up to like $10.99.
I think I got the
No.
package deal with
I
Paramount.
heard about that. They're
I
gonna
think
You
they're gonna
might.
bundle a bunch of different channels, I heard.
somebody needs to come together and bring some of these streaming services together, because right now it's very unaffordable for like families.
And
When I win the Powerball, I'm gonna buy them.
Rick, those I don't even know if you could buy them with Powerball.
I'll buy a parking spot then and just stand out there all day and yell at them.
you play that regularly?
No, I bought. There's a little daily lotto, or something. It's like 1.8 million tonight. I'd be happy with that. My
Yeah,
motor.
right. Even,
I'd be happy with anything.
yeah,
Give me
right.
50 bucks.
A 53-foot motorhome.
We need to get that Fusion toy hauler that like with a big huge garage and a couple bathrooms. We'll just take trips.
Oh, if I hit the big one, 90 million. Oh, I'm gonna have
We're gonna
custom.
get one that we drive, the motor coach, where we can all just hang out like that.
Hell yeah.
I'd be up for that.
53-footer.
We could
We could
pretend
take
we're,
the
we're rock
show on the-
stars,
We can
Freedom's
take
just
the show
another
on the
word for
road.
nothing left to lose.
right?
Let's just do it.
And I'm driving the bus. I don't
Let's
care
just
what
do
anybody
it.
says.
You
I will
can
be the chef. I'll cook for us all.
Cannabis Express.
Gosh.
They have Cheech and Chong music playing. Dun 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 dun.
I wonder who the session musicians were on all the Cheech and Chong stuff, if that was Wrecking
There
Crew
we
or-
go. Information director.
Yeah, I wonder.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm
I'm
like,
just
here we
wondering
go.
out loud, you know. Because
Yeah,
all that was in the
wonderful.
70s.
Great movie. Great series.
I just love listening to the albums. When we were kids, we'd go to our friend's house. We'd all go into their bedroom, and we'd
Basketball
Oh.
Jones.
It's so funny.
yeah, we just listened to all of it. It was so much
Yeah,
fun.
it just was so hilarious, you know.
You know, that's when you could just imagine it and see. Now
It's me,
TV
Dave.
litigation.
Dave's not home.
Dave's not home.
It's the cops.
No.
Oh, fuck.
It's me. I'm Dave. Dave's not home.
It's just
What took-
good funny.
What took you so long, man?
Right,
Thought you were the
Peter,
cops, man. I had to
Fletcher's
flush all our
down the
lids.
drain. About gonorrhea, that one made me laugh too. Rotten
Oh,
Peter,
the gonorrhea.
Peter,
Yeah, yeah.
flush your troubles down the drain.
Gonorrhea. Gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Gonorrhea.
Hey, wages of a misspent youth, but we were paid very handsomely. It was awesome.
We had, I think, some of the best childhood memories because we had enough freedoms to go out, and explore and have fun. And we didn't have this stuff. So
No.
there are electronic memories. So we could all run for president and not have proof, where everybody else, they'll be like going through the internet. Oh man.
I always
You-
think
you
though,
were-
I always think in terms of though, like we were born at just such a unusual time that I think there was a big shift in behaviors. Like when you think about the early 60s compared to like the late 60s and just that paradigm shift, how things were so different,
Mhm.
you know?
Well,
like-
women started getting some rights and
Well, the
Yeah.
music got better
Like-
too. That changed. That helped a lot.
Do you remember a television show? It was a daytime television. It was probably on a UHF channel. And it was called, I'm trying to remember the name. It was something like Not for Men Only.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And it would be like
Yeah, not for
talking
men
about women that could do a tune-up on a car, and they would show you how to do a tune-up. And it was for women. It was a show for women, but it was to do what was man stuff.
well, I think we touched about that one time because remember, like when all the men were off at the war, the women were becoming welders and running all those industrial machines,
Rosie
and
the
then they
Riveter.
come back and it's like, wait, you're a woman. You need to be barefoot and pregnant and cooking in the kitchen like June Cleaver. You
Damn
know,
straight.
fuck you. You're gonna have to censor that one. Sorry.
You don't have to censor it. I had
You
that
can
coming.
see me.
And especially for women that were not going to be with a man, they were able to cultivate a lifestyle through the workforce, and
Yeah,
they didn't have to do the traditional role, and
But
then
people don't
and
realize.
suffer.
We talked about that too. What I went through just to be able to take machine shop in high school. I had to take it 1 year for no credit, no anything.
No
in
kid, you
secret.
didn't get credit for taking the class.
Not during sophomore year, no. Junior year and senior year, I did.
They let you audit the class, and you couldn't
Mr.
get
P
credit
was
for
so
it.
cool, and
You
he
might
let me
still have a
come to his
lawsuit,
class
Laura.
once a
That's right.
week. Well, but things are just different, and And I saw
Wow.
that stuff about him getting jumped and beat. Oh my God, how horrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
Who got jumped and beat?
Mr. Tatarin and his wife were jumped
I
when
didn't
they
know.
were
I didn't know that.
walking. They got off the train, I think, and walking to their car.
Oh, boy.
Is this that ain't recent, is it?
It was
Couple months
February,
ago.
right?
Couple
Oh,
months ago.
wow.
Winter time.
That's
I
terrible.
I told you I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I seen him post that. And then
God.
I think he maybe even showed some pictures.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and they,
Was-
well, there was a whole news
His wife
report.
was in the hospital for a while.
That's terrible.
Oh, man.
She
Where
got
was
hurt
it?
bad.
Chicago?
Yeah, I think getting off the red line somewhere.
Nice.
on the way to go to their car to drive the rest of the
Yeah,
way.
he has a lot of pictures. He's like I don't know if he does it professionally, but he takes a lot of downtown pictures and he posts
He's a
different
cool
stuff.
dude. He was
He's
a
very
great
cool.
team. And I mean, look at we still have our meat tenderizers. Is that just, but for
Yeah.
me, that was groundbreaking. I remember we got Fisher Price to come in and talk to women about working in the trades.
Yeah, wow.
Because it wasn't common. And
Yeah, right.
I was a rabble rouser. That's why I said when I was watching that Bridgerton show, I would never make it, you know?
Yeah, my mom actually worked factory work, but it was like kind of like unskilled labor in the fact that it was just like a punching machine where
Mhm.
all you would do is stick the piece in and the thing would come down and punch the part.
Like a punch press.
Yeah, like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like a to be a millwright
Yeah.
or something like that. There's a lot of skill to do
Skilled
that.
labor. Skilled
Right.
labor.
Where the other one is just stick it in there and it goes.
Yeah, my
when you click
grandmother had a
around.
job like that, a punch press job.
I couldn't do it. I worked 3 days at Lion Match Factory where we made matches, and I worked with some old time biddy ladies. And somebody said, how you do it? I said, I think I'm doing okay. We only had to shut the machine down twice. You know, when you get a jam, because the whole idea was to run your shift without a jam. And all I was doing was feeding like the combs, like they'd be like this long, and they'd have
Yeah.
all the matchsticks on there. And then you'd
Uh-huh.
feed the combs down into the machine, and then the machine would take the match book and pop the combs in and staple it and fold it. And then that was the one side, and the other side, you loaded the combs and the match book covers. And then the other person got all when they came off the chute, you boxed up the matches in the box, put the seals and put them in cases. And I'm like, I did it for 3 days. I'm like, there is no fucking way I'm doing this. I couldn't do it. It was too boring.
I did some work downtown
Wow.
near Lincoln Park, and the people that I was doing the work for, they bought an old matchbook factory that was, like I said, right off of the Lincoln Park area. It could have been in Lincoln Park, but it was a smaller factory, but it was the coolest thing I ever seen.
Mm.
They bought this factory, they gutted it out, and in the center of it, they took the roof off where the center would be, and then they built this beautiful garden in there. And then they put up
Right.
another wall. So they had this from the outside, it just it looked nice, but you couldn't tell how cool it was on the inside of it. But you would walk into it, and it was all the original brick, all cleaned up. It had all the original what do you call them? Not rafters, but the big
Beams.
Oh, the crosswalks.
no, they're
No?
not beams. What do you call it? I'll think of it. But it was the original roof, except where they took it off in the center.
Uh-huh.
And they built this beautiful garden in the center of this building.
Oh, wow.
And then they enclosed where the walls, instead of having walls, they just did
Open.
like a glass wall
Okay.
around it.
Oh, wow.
So when you walk through the hallways, you would look into
Like a
this
giant terrarium?
garden. Sort of, but there was no roof over it.
Yeah, it was open.
Yeah, so when it rained, it would actually rain in there,
Yeah, right.
but not in the
Cool.
house.
Yeah, right. Oh,
A
wow.
self-sustaining garden.
But
That's
from
pretty
but
cool.
from the outside, like I said, you know, it just looked like an old factory. and then you walked
Nice.
into it and there was beautiful house.
Yeah. I love to watch when
Hmm.
people convert stuff like that.
These
Like
people
those-
were really wealthy, believe me.
Like those lofts downtown. Those are nice.
This week I had the opportunity to work, actually, a couple of assignments I had, the one last Friday night, and then I worked again on Tuesday in Hyde Park. And we were at a house that was built in like 1904.
Wow, pretty
a,
huh?
a 3-story with a basement. You know, the top floor was servants' quarters. The people that live there now have only been there 3 years, and they've done extensive rehab to the inside.
Does
And
it,
the previous owners were in the house for 65 years.
Wow.
does it have a dumbwaiter?
It might,
Okay.
it might, but I didn't get to go inside. The
That's tough.
owners promised that they're going to send pictures that they took of the shoot, because I worked on Chicago Fire on Tuesday, and we were at this house for the scenes that we filmed, and he was taking pictures, and they were letting him do it. It was really cool. Like, he had carte blanche being the owner of the home.
There is some awesome architecture in the city of
It's
Chicago.
incredible. The architecture is
The whole
incredible.
city is beautiful.
It's-
There's
Even on, like, you know, in the real rough neighborhoods, there's still these
Oh my-
like standout
yes.
properties, like
I-
Austin District. You go through there, and it's like, wow, look at this house. It's incredible, you know, but everything around it is like destroyed.
Yeah, I did
yeah,
some
the
work
school.
in a Frank Lloyd Wright house,
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
and that was
It's
cool.
Oh,
It's kind
yeah.
of funny. We take like Frank, in my opinion, we take Frank Lloyd Wright for granted because he was prominent in Chicago. But I love like the lines of all his work.
It's
But
incredible.
the Gold Coast, have you ever been? Oh, some of those houses at the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
I've been in a couple of them. Oh, so nice, so nice.
Yeah, there's a part of, I mean, I wish I could like just buy them and then like live in one and then say, okay, that was cool. And then buy another one and like, oh, this is really cool. But oh, look at this house. I want to live there. There's like a part of me that would like do that.
But it's so
perpetually.
funny when you see this house, because you know a lot of those neighborhoods, the houses are similar. Now, when you got to this house, it was like nothing you've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a great architect.
There's
And
some neighborhoods, like every house is the same. It's the same footprint. It's the same everything. You know?
I can
That's the-
contribute.
That was
art to my
the first time that I ever came upon where people used to send their kids to like summer camps.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Because now that's really popular. A lot of kids, a lot of people, a lot of park districts have camps, and
Yeah. Oh
you know
yeah.
what I mean. It's like super popular now.
Yeah. Right.
But this was probably somewhere in maybe mid 80s to late 80s,
Yeah.
and
But the
it
kids
just
go to
wasn't
camp
it just wasn't
also.
around. But
Those
these
were-
people would these people would well, whatever neighborhood they were in, it was a Chicago neighborhood, but they had these camps that the kids would go to.
In the
Mhm.
city?
Yeah, it was in the city.
There's Gina.
Wow.
Was it that one at 26 in California, Dan?
No. That's a whole nother camp.
Encampment. I drive by there all the time now.
I bailed
Hello,
someone
love.
out there once,
Gina, Gina.
and they made me wait
Oh,
like 2 shifts of getting people out, and you know that was reverse discrimination there for me.
Gina,
It was
you
like,
did that like that.
It's a what?
You
Got on there.
That's because I'm on my phone.
Were you working?
I was. So
Why do you stomp down? What's going on?
I'm just tired.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right.
How long is your shift typically?
8 hours too long.
6:30 to 3. It's so just 8 hours. Sometimes it's
Wow.
10 to 7. But then my tire, I had a flat tire. So then I went to our shop. They put air in it, and then I started pulling away, and they're like, we can hear it hissing. So
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
yeah,
Oh,
so
that
Marty
sucks.
came. but he didn't know he was in the middle of stuff. So I
Hmm.
think he got there around what, 6:37, Mark? So he took the tire off, blah, 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 blah. So now the car's still at work, but he'll take care of the tire tomorrow.
That sucks.
So that means I was at work for like 13 hours, but I didn't work all 13.
Wow.
So
Oh man, that's
yeah,
a
I got one
long ass
more day
day.
on this 6-day stretch, and then I'm, off for 2 days. So,
Hmm.
but anyway, so what are you guys up to? Is it just you three?
Just
Oh,
Four.
wow.
5 of us.
Or
Oh, there it
Then
is.
there were 5.
This is a terrible angle.
Steve was on with us earlier before we started recording. He met Dan and Rick already knew him, so we tried to get him to come on again next week for a little while. And
I told him
made
to just use his phone and he could have his own square.
That's right.
he could be in
Because
could
Laura is probably like a screen hog. They kind of block my profile.
No.
Look,
I shared it
weird.
with him.
I know. I'm messing with you. I wouldn't want to share
I
the screen with Marty.
I always share the screen. Look on the back of me over here. I got Johnny Cash. He's
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
shares it with me.
He's always
like you're
flipping us off.
guardian
What's up
angel.
I
with
know.
that?
That's silly. That's for Rick.
Hey, you got to see my mom. You got to see my mom last week for just a few minutes too.
Yeah, that is cool.
I watched the entire episode.
You did?
A
I
new
did.
phone.
Did you like it?
Well, I liked most of it.
Come on,
Wow.
Trace.
Then there
Were you
was
guys
a
talking
portion
shit
of it
about it?
that I really did not like.
I
Well, you
don't
guys-
remember.
Were you
Is
guys
that when
mean to him?
Rick was yelling at you?
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And hey, Trace, I apologize for that too. I felt bad.
He actually did feel bad because he keeps saying it every time we're on. He's like, I was kind of mean to Tracy. I was just being a smartass.
I was being a dick.
Things get a little out of control, and
But the
I can see
Things
where
get
that-
out of control. Fluids are spewed. What are you gonna do?
But the
Like
important
Caligula.
Are stewed. That's a nice choice, Dan.
Did you ever see the movie Caligula?
Yeah.
No.
It's a fluid bath.
Oh,
I dare you to spell it. How do you spell it?
was it a movie or porn?
It's art.
I know
Soft
it's
porn?
It's art, yeah.
Soft porn only means that you didn't get aroused. Just saying.
I thought soft porn was what they did at the old folks home.
That's
Sorry.
wrong.
Sorry. Sorry for all you.
Hey, get there.
That's
Hey,
thank you, Marty.
on a
Hey, is
sad
this thing
note,
working?
Granny died
No, I'm home.
last week.
Who did?
Granny who?
My aunt's mother,
Oh,
who I
Uh-huh.
spent a year with across the hall. She passed away.
Oh, that's
too
sad.
bad.
Go on
How
my
old is
page.
she?
Go on my page, and you can see the video I did of her. And I
How-
was baked. And I laughed so hard with her. Yeah,
You were baked?
she was. Yeah, that's a stretch, huh?
And
But
Rick,
yeah,
who is this again?
My
You'd
aunt's
have
mom.
to say
I called
I
her
was-
Granny.
Oh, your
I
aunt's
called her
mom?
Granny all the time because it pissed her off. You know,
Well, that's what they called my mom.
really?
Because my mom, even though she wasn't from down south, everybody pretty much thought she was from down south because she had
Yeah.
an accent. And it was from all the people she hung around up here that moved from Kentucky and Tennessee. She hung around with what we used to call them the Roberts Park Hillbillies.
Yeah.
Because most of them were from that area.
Isn't
And they
that
were
weird
from
how
either-
that would happen?
Bless your heart.
Because I remember people from Roberts Park, and they were always like from down south. And I always wondered, how did that happen, or why was that a specific migration?
I know it's wild, right?
Like there must have
what's
been
weird?
jobs or something that was bringing people
Well,
up.
it was jobs for sure.
Yeah, but they all
it's
sort of
weird
went
that
to
you would
Roberts
say-
Park.
Say something to that effect. My parents, when they sold their house in Bridgeview, And
Yeah.
Hogan's lived next door to us on the other side, and you know, Mary's family, the Zicks, lived on the other side of us. But the people that bought Hogan's house, they have exactly their taste. Like they didn't change the shrubbery, that, you know what I'm saying? And same thing with my parents' house. So, you know, I mean, if some of those people moved to Roberts Park, other people of like kind of people, you know, were drawn to it because it was familiar. It was more like them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's
Okay.
also very affordable housing too.
Oh,
Most
absolutely.
of those houses were really old,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they could
Small.
afford them.
Were
But
they,
yeah, it was
do you
just weird
know,
because,
do
go
you
ahead.
know, do you know if those were sticks on dirt over there?
Some of them were absolutely.
Yeah, because you know, in what was South Stickney Township, there were no building codes. So when my grandfather built, he built 4 different homes out of wood that was scrapped from the locks job from the WPA back in the 1930s. He and
Wow.
his brother ended up building 4 different houses. One of the houses was on like 82nd in Nashville, and it was on this big property, and it was like a 450 square foot house. It was like tiny house. It was
Where
like tiny house.
Gina and Rick lived, I think it was it off of Okido or one of those streets? There was one of those houses that had
Sticks on
a
dirt.
dirt crawl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was not even a crawl. Basically, it was basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
They took like railroad ties and built floor and.
Yeah.
But
Isn't
when
that
they tore it
amazing?
down, it was on Okido, I'm pretty sure. But
Wow.
when they tore it down, there was no foundation.
We had a
Yeah.
crawl space in our house.
Yeah, we had a crawl space.
You weren't
a
on
big-
Okido, were you, Rick?
No, we were on Thomas,
Okay, this
83rd
Gina, do you
Thomas.
remember that house, that small house on Okido that was it was really small?
What, right next door to the community center? That one?
No,
little
no,
white
this was closer to 87th Street. They ended up building
Oh,
they ended up putting a factory where it is now.
There were a lot of them there though. They had back in.
is it one of
Yeah.
them that they used, the fire department used later to burn?
Oh,
Like a
probably.
practice
That
burn?
was cool when they used to do that. They used to
Yeah,
do the burn downs.
yep. Rick,
You
there
ever see
was
that,
one like
Rick?
that
Or,
down there.
Anybody?
I remember seeing one in Roberts Park, actually.
Cause there was one, Dan,
There were a
like,
few back in the day.
you know, the rock
Yeah.
road, the gravel road, we used to call it,
Right. Oh
like
yeah.
short of our block, right? You know, if
I
you went
almost
straight.
died there. I know.
Yeah. Smitty almost got it killed from my dad. But anyway, I think there was a house down there too, like a little white frame house that they used as a burn down too.
Yeah, this
Yeah, I
was
remember the
this was a
house.
brown house, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I remember the house.
But it was
What's your
small. It
baby-
was just a little it was basically as big as a garage.
Right.
What's her name?
What's your dog's name?
This is my aunt's dog, the one that passed, Candy.
Oh.
Candy?
Yeah.
Say hi, Candy.
She's 14.
Andy.
Wow, cute dog.
Oh.
Looks
She's
just like
she's
you,
like
Rick.
Rain Man.
Hey, baby.
Qantas never crashed.
Okay.
Break wind. Oh
See you
shit.
later.
She did the other day, and I kicked her off the couch. Man, that was nasty.
Oh my.
Hey Gina,
Was
do
it a
you
detonator?
remember Gina, do you remember when Booger crashed his car, flipped his car over, and me and Mary was in it? It was on that road, the rock road.
Oh, that's right.
You survived a flip?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Holy
He flipped the
shit.
car completely over.
Holy
Was it
shit.
still kind of a little pitchy over there? Like
It's
it was
still-
a casting factory that Eagle Trucking or whatever was over there.
there was nothing around there at the time.
Oh,
It was just a rock road. Remember, it made that turn.
yeah.
He was
Because
coming
it was
off of whatever that would have been. What road were you guys on?
83rd.
83rd place. Okay,
Yeah, you were one. Oh, yeah.
so maybe 85th. Remember, there was something that came
Yeah.
from Okido, and then it was pavement, but then it turned into the rock road,
Is it like where
and then
like
it made a turn.
Well, at one time,
where
yeah,
Harlem
that
Water
turn was
Park was?
deadly, man. Because right after the turn was the prairie. where the bike
Right,
trails
and that's where
are.
we ended up in a ditch in the prairie.
Yeah, the
Holy
mini
cow.
bike trails.
Holy
But
cow.
wasn't
Is
that
that
Harlem
before-
Auto Parts down there?
Yeah, that was before all that stuff. There was
Yeah.
Was that
nothing down there.
Before,
No.
did you have seatbelt on when you flipped?
Oh no, are you
'Cause-
kidding me? In
'cause we
fact,
didn't
it was
wear 'em
bucket
much then.
seats. It was bucket
didn't even
seats, and
have 'em.
Mary was on my lap. Because we were just
Yep.
going from
How
my
fast did he
house.
take the turn?
Oh, he had it was a Nova with the posi rear end, rock road,
Sport.
a 350 with
And
the
Booger.
with the automatic, not with the manual transmission. So he wanted to fishtail around the corner. So he, was
Oops.
going through the gears, fishtailing around, and it caught instead of fishtailing, and it flipped us into the ditch.
Oh,
Damn.
shit. And you walked away from it?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it was pretty
Wow.
wild.
Well, I mean,
I actually
Dan's
think-
never been the same since.
Right.
But
I actually think Mary probably would have died if the car didn't flip, though,
Wow.
so
because
she would have been ejected from the car.
Well, no, we were heading for a phone pole or electric
Yeah.
pole, whatever you call those,
Or phone
Yeah.
pole?
and it was a sewer like in the ditch, and that's what flipped us. When the car flung around
Oh, the
We were
big
heading
old
towards
sewers. that
it.
go- Yeah.
and the car flipped over, and it ended up stopping the car before we hit the pole.
That
And then
sucks.
actually, Booger would have actually hit the pole because once he flipped, we were on the other side. of
Right.
where the pole would have been.
Wow.
But we had everyone walked away, no problem. The car was totaled.
Were the police involved?
Well, no, I was just about to get to
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. My cousin was a tow truck driver. He had his own tow truck. So
And we owned the prairie.
yeah. So this was before cell phones, needless to say. So
Thank God.
we had to go over to, I think it might have even been Gina's house.
Might have been.
Used their phone to
Mm.
call my cousin. and
Because
he
we don't want
came-
Mary's parents to see her,
Right. Exactly. We were worried about the parents seeing what happened. So we called my cousin. He came there like immediately. He was there within a half an hour, and he took his tow truck. And this first time I ever seen anybody flip a car over. This was the kind of tow trucks that had the big cable. It wasn't like the T1s
Yeah.
that wanted your tire.
Yeah.
So he took that long cable, went around the car, hooked it to the steering wheel, and then just levered it, made it flip over with that. And then he just towed
Wow.
it back to my house, my mom's house. But nobody
Yeah,
ever
I
knew.
mean-
Mary's mom and dad never knew that ever happened.
Wow.
Oh, there's some money we can.
No,
guys,
that block and that group of people, they had a gazillion secrets that everybody, somehow we always got slid
We got
under.
lucky.
We got really
Damn
lucky.
straight. Was the car totaled? I mean,
Oh, it
what-
was totaled. Yeah, I think the only thing that was good on it was, I think, the hood.
Oh,
And it was an SS, not Camaro,
Nova.
Nova. So it had the louvers on it.
yeah.
So he was able to sell that for like $75 or something.
Mm.
And then
Oh, man.
he parted it out because it had a posi rear end. So was able to sell that. He sold the motor. And I think maybe the interior, because the interior was still nice. But he ended up, and that's when he was actually living at my house.
Oh, wow.
Because he got kicked out of his house, and then my mom let him move in on one of our spare rooms.
No kidding.
So that car sat in our driveway for a couple weeks while he
Man.
parted it out.
Huh.
But it was a beautiful car. It was like a 1969 or 70.
Was it blue?
That's got to
Black.
be worth some money.
Black?
Yeah.
I don't
That
remember that
model
one.
year, that car in that model year, that's going to be worth some
Oh, it was beautiful. It had the rally wheels on it. But yeah, he totaled it out. It was like, keep in mind that the car was like, all the sheet metal that was rusted was replaced with new sheet metal. So there was no rust or Bondo on it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when those guys put their cars together, they did not half-ass it at all. It was better than they found it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
We had some nice cars, didn't we?
It's
Yeah.
all
And that
part
was,
of that bridge.
remember when Dave used to pull out of his driveway and like dust off his tires because he had gravel driveway?
Oh yeah.
Not Dave Booger, Dave Cox. He would
Oh yeah.
pull
Yeah.
he'd, dust off the tires so he wouldn't be having like the rock dust all over his tires so he could drive.
We need
Right.
to write a script and relive it all.
I
Yeah.
always thought that we've lived enough interesting stories
9 lives.
to where it would actually make a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm on number 7.
Think about all the characters you grew up with and all the wacky behaviors, and it would be fun.
We could just go back to the Sheridan driving. Oh my God.
Hell
Tuesday,
yeah.
that- There's some stories from that place, I am sure.
Oh,
Well,
definitely.
Some
honestly,
of the fights were epic.
we could actually do, if we got someone to write it, Tracy, we
Okay.
could write a good movie. It
Let me
could
get
be
my pen.
it could be just like a
It'd be fun.
like a Fast Times at Ridgemont High movie.
But think of the people you'd
You
have
wanna
to cast
have
to
that
put
one
all the
said, wait.
characters down.
Do you know, it
It'd be
could be
wild.
kind of fun because we could like film at each little location and put it together and be like a montage kind of film.
Wait till I hit the Powerball. I'll budget it.
He'll be our, yeah, I like it. Executive producer, Rick.
You know
Rock.
what?
No, the street creature.
That's kind of why
AKA
I like doing what we're doing here. Because all these stories that would have never been told ever
Yeah,
are here now.
right.
And
know
some
what I
will
mean?
never be told.
Right. But I mean, you know what
Well,
I
and
mean?
if they
Protect the
are
innocent.
told, if they are told, you're going to edit them out.
Yeah. No, we don't tell
Or
we don't
before
tell
we
the
go
bad
live.
stuff.
It'd be
I don't
cool if you
think
could
I
tell
don't
the
think I
story
have any
without
more
the names.
warrants.
What Tracy?
I was just gonna say, it'd be cool if you could tell the stories, but then you wouldn't use the names. You would make up the names and then just tell the story.
Well, the good news is a lot of our group, we had aliases anyways.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now each of you would know the aliases, but the general public wouldn't
Right.
really know that.
Exactly. Yep.
So you could
I
work
never
off of the aliases.
What's that?
I never really had a nickname.
Well, we shall have to change
And
that,
Laura.
won't we?
I've always been Laura.
I've
Yeah,
been blotto. since I
they
was
called me
14.
Woodchuck because I was the woodworker.
Woodchuck.
Because I had
I
the
was the-
van that was all decked out in wood.
I
I
was the
still go
dancing
by blotto.
school because I
Blotto.
danced.
Blotto.
What's
Oh.
that, Laura?
Well, I was the dancing machinist, but that was about it. But that's not really a nickname. That's like adjectives to describe me.
So
I was-
what would you want as a nickname?
You know, I don't even have a biker name. It's just it's
pretty
been
much
Laura.
Okay, but it's been
It's just Laura. It's just always been Laura. One guy called me in 7th grade, called me Nips, just because
Called
of the
you what?
boob thing. Nips because of the boob thing, but I would not
Nice.
I wouldn't
Nips
accept that as
or
Nips.
nips?
nipples.
Nips.
Nips.
Pizza.
N-I-P.
Nips.
Notice,
But
notice how we've all like,
You
But
say
I would
nipple,
not-
man, and we're all like, yeah.
now it's time for Fixation Anonymous.
well, Marty always says that, the male humor never goes past age 15.
Ah!
Well, I got one. I got a
Glorious.
screensaver that says, thank God for nipples, because without them, titties would be pointless.
You're so stupid.
I am, but it makes sense.
Do you know
It does
You know,
make sense.
there's a
Now
boob
that you
joke
mentioned
neither one of us hasn't heard, huh?
I'm telling you. We invented those.
You know, don't you get tired of people milking those jokes though?
You know, exactly.
Yeah, that deserves a wave.
No, it does not.
Shut up.
But do you know, my dad's brother, my uncle Lenny, he was like my favorite uncle. He told me one that I hadn't heard. I was a grown up. He said, Laura, he said, windshield wipers. Mwah, 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 mwah. I see when women with big breasts, I think of windshield wipers.
That's good.
I hadn't heard that one ever until I was a grown up. So
I think that's good.
He got one I
Oh,
hadn't
sure.
heard. And I mean, you'd have to understand my uncle. His sense of humor is like mine. I always say my mind's in the gutter, but my body's not.
Right?
My mind is always in the gutter.
And his body
That's
would be
where
if it was
most
let
guys'
him.
minds live.
Yeah.
Is in the
That's
gutter.
a talent.
Consistency is the key.
That's right.
Every 6 seconds.
They say why say they said every 7 seconds men will think something sexual. For us women,
Yep.
it's about every 5, right, Gina?
5 years.
No,
Ouch.
never
Seconds.
underestimate the naughtiness of a woman.
Do you
Okay.
know that I was in shop and I was the only girl and I would hear how these boys would talk, but I would always be right there, back at them, back at them, back at them. And you know, when guys hear the group of women talk, they are much more vulgar than you men will ever be. Because I've been around guys my whole life, and the women are bad.
But you know
When I worked-
what's funny? If sorry, Gina, if you're
No,
if
go
you're a guy and you're not used to a woman talking,
Talking like that.
you get uncomfortable
Hell
because
no.
you're not used. No. If
No,
you're
I
not
know what
used
you're
to it,
saying.
no, if you're not used to it,
Yeah.
you
You
know,
hear
you're
that,
not
Gina?
used to a woman
Yeah.
coming back like that, so it's a little uncomfortable. But
Well, even
when
if
you
like
get
you get
when you know the group, it's not though. Like our group, we get it.
right.
But if
But
we
if
went to a
Mary
group,
talked like this, she would be it would be awkward for you because she doesn't talk like crap, like you know.
well, absolutely no.
I mean, it's your
right.
wife, and it's not like you'd be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? But it would be like, what did you just say? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, she knows I talk like this, but she
Right.
doesn't.
Right. And that's just, and it's nothing. It's just,
See,
that's how, right.
You got women that are Joan Jets, and then you got women that are Karen Carpenters.
Oh, I'm a little bit of both.
That's good.
He's
I
a little
like
bit
that.
country and she's a little bit rock and roll.
Hell yeah. Leather and
No,
lace.
like when
Ah.
I worked at the railroad, but not for the railroad, where the gate was, for the checking in the trailers, because I used to inspect the truck trailers. All the guys were inside because there was like a little, like, you know, I don't know, like a trailer, but it wasn't a trailer. Anyway, it was like a booth where everybody sat until, you know, a truck came in to inspect. But anyway, but it was during the summer. So, you know, we were sitting outside and inside. Well, anyway, the guys were, I guess they were looking at porn on the computer inside there. And I was in there and I was talking to them. And one of the other girls came walking in and they're like, hey, you can't come in here. And they're like, why? She's like, why? And they're like, well, because we're watching inappropriate stuff. And they're like, well, she goes, Gina's in there. And they're like, Gina's not a girl. So the girl's like, what? So, yeah.
My.
So I get that, you know.
I remember that commercial for Anjali. I could bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan,
Yeah.
and never let get you that you're a man. I would always used to say, that's what I used to tell people. I'm like, yeah, I can make money, I can cook, but I'm also a woman, you know?
Right.
And
Well,
Yeah.
I
well-rounded.
like that I can adapt myself to my surroundings. Some people
Yeah.
don't have a filter and don't know when they should be a certain way and when they shouldn't, but at least I know
Yeah.
how to turn it off and on.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Mary don't do a lot of, you know, jokes a lot, but when she does, they're like really good
And there's
because they're so unlike her.
right.
You know what I mean? It's so surprising
And the
that it's
timing
like
is
really good.
perfect. Right.
Right.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's how my sister is. She would be kind of quiet and shy compared
That's
to me.
cool.
Because you would know, but if my sister Rocky said something and it came out, like when we were driving when we were kids and somebody cut my mom off and my mom started, blah, 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 and my sister just blurts out, it's okay, Ma, I gave him the finger. And it was like, you would never expect her to say something like that. But when she chimed in and the time was right, you'd be like, whoa, man, my sister's got some game going on over there. But she curtailed it a lot.
Yeah.
So is that your older sister, or younger sister?
Younger.
Okay.
She's 14 months younger. She hung around Gina a bit, didn't she? When you
Yep.
guys were in school. And that's kind of how I became friends with Gina a bit. Just through assimilation. But my sister a lot of times had to just come with me. So I used to put her through holy
Well, she's a little
heck
bit more shy. I mean, a little bit more shy. She's shy in comparison.
to me.
to you.
Yeah. because I'm so shy. I get shy.
That's why, that's why I said in comparison, because at first I was going to say shyer than you, but I'm like, you're not shy.
It depends. If I walk, I don't like to walk into like a new establishment all by myself.
You know,
I get
that's
really-
funny because for as like not intimidated as I am to being around people or people I don't know, that doesn't bother me. But I do not like walking into a bar by myself
Yep.
at all.
Same.
And it could be all the girls or whatever. And I'm like, I tell somebody come and meet me outside because I'm not coming in by myself. I don't know why, but I don't like it.
You know
Huh.
why? Because like this, all the heads turn and people look you up and down. Like, who's this person? Especially if it's like a new place, and that would just make me really shy and awkward.
Well, you just gotta, if people are staring at you, just look at them and go, what the fuck you looking at?
Okay.
I just
You know?
A little
take
bit out of character for me, but you know.
Hey, and then all the pews, all the people in the pews say, "What's he talking about?" Because Rick does
He
that when he
who
walks
farts
into
in
church.
sits in his own. Oh. He who farts in church sits in his own pew.
Oh, I did that. I
No.
told you that story, right? With the metal chairs.
No.
Kinda
Oh,
like
I say
yeah.
Fabian.
Oh yeah, remember the old metal chairs?
Never
Yeah.
forget 'em.
We had enchiladas the night before. Oh man,
Oh,
I was going off like a fucking Gatling gun. Da, 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 da,
Oh,
da,
on
da,
those
da, da,
metal
da.
chairs. Yeah, we didn't have.
Remember the
pews,
metal
we had
chairs with
with
the kneelers?
Yeah,
That's what we had.
that's what we had, and it was
Our
during one
entire
of the
church.
it was during one of the prayers too, because even I think it was O'Mara looked up at me, and he blessed
Hey,
me.
Mark, did they have pews or still folding chairs when we got married at St. Fabian's? They had pews then? What about you, Dan?
I think they had the chairs.
Yeah, I bet.
They
Yeah,
had-
they had the chairs in the 80s for sure.
Yeah,
yeah, they had pews when we went there though, like later in life.
I mean, we got married in the old
was a-
church before it turned into the gymnasium.
Yeah,
Were we in the
okay.
old church or the new church?
Yeah.
Oh, Marty said we were. I got to ask Marty. Marty said we were in the new one. So
Huh.
we
When
had
did
Father
you-
Cash.
Father Cash. My mom really liked Father Cash.
Yeah,
I think
so
we
did I.
too, actually.
Did Father Cash marry you guys?
I think the name sounds familiar, but it might just because you know
he ran a
families
great
go there.
he ran a great Vegas nights there,
Yeah.
because we were always
Yeah.
in charge of the beer garden, the beer truck
Yeah.
for
We
the
used to
carnival.
dance Vegas nights. Like we were the entertainment. Like Susan's
That's
dancing
cool.
galore. We'd tap dance or jazz dance at some of the
What was the
Vegas
name
nights.
of it? Susan's dance.
Susan's
Is that what-
dancing galore.
That's what I thought. See,
Yeah,
didn't
she was-
I think Debbie
Bridget-
Semino took from them too?
yeah. And then Tip and
Oh,
Donna
wow.
Scheib- that's how I met Donna. Well, Donna, I don't know what's her new name again, her married name.
Table.
Yeah, Habel. Donna danced there. And then
Donna Scheitel
You know-
danced there too. Yeah.
yeah, and then Tip Tap Toe in Summit. I remember Sue and Paulette had like this rivalry going, but when Sue passed away and we were older and we started taking tap lessons again, me and Rocky, and Paulette was really good. I mean, really good.
Huh.
I miss my dancing days.
I tap dance a couple times coming out of a bar.
I bet you did.
With the guns telling you dance.
No, falling in ditches and shit.
I think that would be more gymnastics than tap dance.
Yeah.
Wow. See,
Filming good then? Are you working consistently then during the week with your new shows? Well, with Chicago PD and stuff?
Yeah, so I had a back-to-back days this past week. I worked on Tuesday with Chicago Fire, and then I worked Wednesday with Chicago PD. So I had for PD, I had the white shirt role, and it was interesting in the fact that it was basically the scene that we shot Wednesday was a prequel to the scene that I filmed back in July.
Oh wow!
That Saturday. It was so weird because
That far apart?
yeah, it was weird because they literally were shooting a scene that's going to be a part of episode 3. But first they were shooting a scene that was going to be the lead into the scene that I worked on in July. So I'm basically in like both versions of the scene, like the early part and then the latter part, but they're two different looks. And then it was weird because they had us like walking around outside. So that this is the exterior shot that they were doing, which I worked on Wednesday. And then the scene will go interior. And then that's the scene I worked on back in July.
That's
really,
funny.
That's
It's
crazy.
really weird how they did that.
Submit your stuff. I saw that Tracy had put that out there to maybe be an extra.
Oh, I didn't get the role.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No Hollywood for me.
The background stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
if I-
I would turn it
That
down.
was just a photo session though, right?
yeah, that's what they were looking for, to do like a photo, you know. And
So if I send you my picture, you get me some gigs or what?
well, you know, I think it's to a point where like if I find something that I think could work for you, maybe I'll just kind of send it to you.
That'll work.
You got to really act fast though. They don't mess around. They really want a quick response.
Because there's people that are waiting for those things to post and then they're on it.
But you know where I think Rick would have been better off than me, because
The undercover
Actually-
thing.
in the actual instructions it said they were looking for a bigger burly guy, and I definitely don't fit that.
Yeah, Dan's like put in for his stats, 5'3", 120 pounds. Yeah.
And definitely not burly.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't get it.
And you don't have a shirt that says cock on it. So,
But we can fix that. We can fix that.
That'd be
No,
wild.
Dan cannot wear a cock shirt. That will just be uncomfortable for me.
But don't you
like
love that?
Fire will do scenes at Molly's bar, so they're always like looking for bar patrons.
Well, we could definitely be bar people.
That would be hilarious.
That
if,
would be
like,
fun. All of
all
us
of
in there
us
doing that.
somehow got the gig, and
I
we're
come to
literally
the-
like, trying to do the show. We're trying to do this show on the set of at
Right.
Molly.
And then our 5 followers could like watch it, the episode.
No,
Oh,
Steve
man.
joined as a follower today.
We might
Hey,
pick up a couple.
what's the name of the not movie? What's the name of the bar off of Archer, where right across the street from the cemetery?
Chet's.
Chet's Pub.
Chet's.
That's-
I actually filmed in there one time.
Did you really?
Yeah, we were doing a small movie called Ghost Hunter.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, with Resurrection Mary, huh?
Yeah, well, but what we did was we, went in there, and the guy that owned Chet's original,
Go in the basement. Did you go in the basement?
no, but the dad moved or died or something, and then the son took it over, the son and his wife, and they lived right behind us.
Hmm.
So we knew him as because we were neighbors. And then we were doing this movie, and we wanted to do a bar scene, and we ended up going in there. We went in there when they weren't busy, but it was fun doing that scene in there.
Oh, I'll bet.
I had a couple drinks with her a couple times there.
Yeah,
Resurrection
my cousin,
Yeah.
played in that. His band Ground Control played in that bar a few times. But like I said, I used to go there after I get off work at my shift bartending, and I'd go there, and sometimes I'd help that
Wasn't
bartender.
Kenny the bass player, Laura?
Ground control.
Kenny is he plays the drums.
No, I'm talking. You remember Kenny Schemberger? No, I thought
but
he was
it's
the
fun-
bass player.
He might be my cousin. I just know my cousin's name. I don't remember because that's in my drinking days.
Were they
you know.
Bowie fans with the ground control name?
I'm gonna guess, yeah.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
they play all over Chicago. To me,
Wow.
it's weird to hear my cousin play and stuff like that, and people are like,
Yeah.
they love it. They got their little cult following in the
Oh,
city.
wow.
Or even like my brother Matt, he'll do songs, and I'm just not used to hearing them like musically. So every time I hear them, it's like weird and different, you know?
Look.
Are they still active?
Yeah, they just They play all over the place.
They need to play at the garage.
That's right.
Hey, maybe. Well, when I come up to Chicago for the reunion, maybe we can figure out how we can we can work it out.
Yeah.
Hey, Trace, have you talked to that lady that went down to Nashville?
Well, yeah, I reached out to her and she definitely would like to take up our offer. And she's really busy with the move, but her goal is to be coming back and forth,
Okay.
to Chicago with some frequency because she has family here. And yeah, so she was interested to, like I say, take up the offer and be able to come in and perform. And she's a singer and a songwriter.
Yeah, I
and,
listened to a couple of their the things that was on the internet.
yeah,
She's
real
good.
sharp lady, really
Oh, wait,
great
I
gal,
lost it.
What is
That's right.
that?
That's my cousin's in the Dago T. That's ground
okay.
control.
Ground
I
control.
don't- It's not coming in very clear, I don't think, but
Oh,
Are they
good,
rock?
actually.
Are they, is it
Yeah.
rock music basically, or?
kind of, yeah, rocks. They're gonna be at Crazy Joe's in August. Because tomorrow's the big day for the Toys for
Joe's on
Tots.
Weed Street?
Hmm?
Joe's on Weed Street?
Let's see, Rocks at Crazy Joe and Leroy Earns Christmas in August. 3 to 11 hometown.
Oh, it's in
Okay.
hometown.
He'll be in hometown. He lives over in they live over by Ashland and Archer over that way. Unless he's
Okay.
moved, but
Bridgeport?
yeah, kind of over that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to see the date on the flyer. Oh, yeah, Saturday, August 20th,
Come here.
9 to 11.
In Chicago, we would say,
Rock
over there, over
Come
there,
Over by
Over
there.
there.
over by there.
Over by
Three
there.
doors that way.
Tree doors down.
Yeah, so here,
Go
there's
ahead.
your little flyer.
Is Juice home yet?
Are they from Chicago?
Hometown.
Doors
Yeah.
down?
Oh, there.
We're playing there tomorrow.
Hometown.
I gotta get a
Parts are
t-shirt from the
hometown.
Thirsty Beaver.
Yeah, one of my run groups.
Hey, sorry.
they
I'll
love
give you a
that place.
picture of the thirsty
And
beaver.
any of our 5 people that watch our videos, please get Rick a T-shirt from the Thirsty Beaver.
My cousin
Yeah.
BB should, I asked her,
We should just do the show from there.
Rick, what size?
well, I could go anywhere from a small to a double X.
A small?
Give
I
him a
can't do
double.
a small.
What are you gonna wear with some denim cutoffs and go to like this?
No,
It's
no, please.
It's a doggone 7-second rule.
He's gonna wear his new work
always-
boots and some denim cutoffs with phrase, so his junk falls out on one side, and the small t-shirt.
Please,
Fuck
I
you,
can't
Gina.
see
Why do they
it.
call
I
it junk?
can't see it.
It's gonna look like Rick's gonna be in a bikini.
Franks and beans.
Oh my God.
Denim Daisy Dukes.
Oh, God.
We'll just call them Dukes for you.
Well, that's so funny. I mean, think about how popular that was when we were growing up. Because Mary used to make fun of me because my shorts were so short.
Ah! Were your socks
Well,
really
remember
high?
how short the shorts were, like with the white piping, like our gym shorts. And
These
all
were
that?
all-
Oh, gym
these were-
shorts, yeah.
These were all cutoffs.
Do I ever?
Yeah.
No, Dan is a recycler.
That's right. I didn't buy shorts. They were cutoffs.
I don't know what it was about the gym suit, but the ladies
It was a
really
sign
look,
of the
the
times,
ladies
that's
really
for sure.
look good in them. I was amazed,
I
It
like-
was
liked
a
when
sign
the
of the times.
I liked when the guys would wear their Speedos in gym class. Horatio Resendez.
No one should wear a
best body.
Speedo. No one
Yeah,
should
but
wear a
young men
Speedo.
look.
Definitely no one over 25.
Oh,
I did
swimmers.
that on Clearwater Beach. I wore it backwards.
He looked good
With
in
your
his.
small sweat or small t-shirt that says
They called
at
me
my
the
cock.
stack man.
Ah,
Wherever Horacio is, he looked good in his. He wore it well.
was that during the Girls Gone Wild era?
Oh,
Oh God, that
Remember
was
that?
after school. That was when we were in college.
Good old girl, like, oh man.
I remember flashing my
digress.
boyfriend on the barge, and we'd go boating. I forget where we were at, and I was flashing him. Well, I didn't know there was a barge full of men right across the way.
are there pictures of this or?
Right, because she couldn't see a big giant barge when her boobs are all out.
I was all
Her
drunk.
boobs,
It
like,
depends on how
arms.
inebriated he was too.
Yeah, it would take a lot because I think I've flashed them like at somebody out in public one time, and that one time there happened to be a bunch of other people that happened to see it because I was too drunk to notice the big barge. And they
No.
were and I'm like, oh, who cares? We're in the middle of nowhere, and then everybody's like, yay!
Were they throwing beads at you?
Woohoo.
Oh God,
Condoms.
Thursday. That was like my first and last time.
Okay, Gina.
Okay?
If you're gonna do it once, that was a good once.
It was because
She
like,
has
I
a lot of
flashed
stuff to cover there.
50 people at once, you know.
Really?
It was-
She'd, she'd be swimming in goo. Just saying.
Oh,
No, Gina,
Oh.
'cause to you, Gina,
Hey.
I'm fried eggs compared to you.
That's
Oh.
Gina, that's a technical term. Goo.
No,
Yeah.
goop.
is that where they got the idea for the Sticky
No.
Fingers album?
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah,
have to
we're-
talk to Dolores Allen to find out if that picture of me coming out of the shower after swim class actually was taken and developed. He
Wow.
would know.
You got
It was
that picture?
developed,
Legend
but she was
has.
overdeveloped.
No, I think well, the guys were trying to find out if I stuffed or not, I guess, and they did.
Where can we get a copy of this?
I don't know if it was taken because I like
Yeah,
knocked the
why
can-
did she
Hey,
write
hey,
over that
Rick.
copy? She
I have
could
a-
just flash us
Remember that
now.
talk
I
years
have
ago?
I have a
So-and-so
feeling if it was
stuff.
taken when she said it was, it could be you could probably get arrested if you had it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
Oh, now thanks
Well,
for the
You know,
reminder.
She could take
oh,
She
oh
could-
yeah.
kill
Oh,
the
yeah.
curiosity and just flash
wait a
us
minute,
now.
wait a minute. If she signs a thing though that says it's okay, then we're good.
A release.
You know the
Yeah.
thing.
No,
Rick,
no.
Believe it, but
All I
don't
have
show
to
anybody
say-
yet.
Okay.
All I
Listen,
have to say is now that I'm overweight, my body matches my boobs, and nobody knows how big they really are anymore. You know?
Oh yeah, sure.
no, I'm pretty sure we know how big they
They're
appear to be.
yeah, they're okay. They're nice.
Sometimes.
Would it be impolite to ask the size or?
Here we go.
You know,
Hey, Gina, we're gonna stand up and say, guess whose are bigger?
Oh,
Sure.
yours.
No, you win. I think you win.
No. I don't even have
Take it
cleavage.
off.
I don't even have cleavage. The
You have a
reality
leg.
is, you guys don't want to see my boobs. You want to see Laura's boobs.
No, we don't
Those
want
are
to.
boobs.
No, you don't. Mine
Boobs
have
are
been on
not
my
boobs.
My boobs have been on my body since I've been about 12 years old.
The Who
And I
wrote a
think-
song about them?
We have good bras. That's what we have.
Early developer.
Mama's got a squeeze while she wears on her chest.
It had to be at
Daddy
12 though.
gets-
That had
Daddy
to
gets
be,
home, he never gets no rest. Cause they're
Hey.
playing up tight.
Stand up. Let's look at your cock, Rick.
Oh, you want to see the cock? Huh?
like,
He's really cute.
Since we're doing Chantel.
welcome
I
to
think
Body
that was
Parts
a good
Anonymous.
picture of a rooster.
Oh, that's
Smoking-
a great picture.
I like that one.
I do too.
It has
This is
you
now
all
my
in-
favorite
Touching your cock.
He's not only hey Gina, he's not only touching it, he's
Good
pulling
Tracy.
on it.
Hands
Tracy's
free.
like, look, ma, no hands.
Quit
That
touching
just-
it. You're hey Rick, quit touching it. You're stretching it out.
Yeah, I gotta put two hands around it.
Rosarita.
Seriously, you just said that?
What's
There's
that?
Rosa.
Put two
Rita.
hands around it?
Rosie
Rosie
Palm.
Palm and her
Rosa
five
Rita.
friends.
Wow.
Or
We really are
Rosie
regressing.
Palm and the Five Finger Sisters.
That's right. 5-finger death grip.
Watch them dance.
La 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 la.
And you guys
Yes,
even
how
have
old
music for that?
Cue it up, Dan.
Yeah.
Da, da, da,
I got
No,
Dan's
he's gonna do
country
the
music
boing.
legend name. Guess what it is?
What is that?
It's easy to guess. Country music legend, Roy Daniel.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, Roy Daniels.
Right, you got to do the S.
Yeah, you got to put the S on. Like mine is Tracy Edwards,
It's like when people say Illinois.
Illinois.
And you know what mine will be? Just plain old Laura Lee.
Laura Lee.
Laura Lee for sure.
I love Laura Lee. I love
Laura Lee's.
Lee.
I like Laura Lee.
Shoot
That's
it.
hot. Yeah.
That's
Laura
And
Lee.
definitely
she has
that's
boobs.
definitely a southern name, Laura Lee.
Laura Lee.
Yeah, I have like a New York name or something.
What's your middle name?
Marie.
Gina Marie.
Oh no, that could
Yeah,
be
South
a
Bronx. Middle
country.
name is
That
Marie.
could be a country name.
That
No,
would
that's
be
South
good.
Bronx.
In this
And
day and
Italian
age,
Marie.
yeah.
Marie was a stereotypical Italian middle name.
Yeah, you know, Dar's middle name is Marie, and it's not Italian.
No, but I'm just saying there are a lot of
Yeah.
Italians. Their
Marie.
middle name is
With the
Marie. Marie.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know my mom's name is Yolanda, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yolanda. Wow.
Yolanda.
That's interesting.
that's Hawaiian. Is that a Hawaiian name?
Yolanda.
Italian.
Oh, really? That's Italian.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. What'd
It's
you
Greek,
say?
probably.
Well, Yolanda. We went to school at Yolanda Dominguez. So
Right. You equate it with that. And then
with
I
this-
told you guys
Yeah.
my son's name is Dominic, and he was pissed because all his cousins on both sides all have Irish names, and Dominic has Dominic Anthony.
Oh, very
She's like,
Italian.
Why didn't
Yeah,
I
that's
get an
like
Irish
super
name?
Italian.
Super Italian.
Yeah.
He's a
So
Sicilian.
that could be South. That could be like South Ireland. You know.
No, Ireland does have Dominic. You're right.
It ain't-
Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
it still was Dominic Anthony. Marty
Not
wanted to name
Anthony
him
though,
Vito.
do they? I've
No.
never heard of Anthony.
Not that
Irish
combination.
Anthony.
I don't know if
No.
I'm trying to think of an Irish Dominic.
My
There
mom
was
is
an Irish Dominic. What's one of the one from Lord of the Rings?
my mom is TITA.
Two of the
Uh,
hobbits, not the two sidekicks. The one that was Sean, whatever his name is, and the other guy.
Sean Astin.
Yeah,
Oh, what was his name?
I think it's Dominic.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
You know, I never watched any of them.
Lord of the Rings movies are awesome.
with
Never
Precious.
watched one.
They're
It's an
really
acquired-
good. Pardon?
I think it's an acquired taste.
Is that the one with the guy who was Precious, with the hands?
Yes,
that one-
Yeah.
yes, yep.
Loved his character.
I'd like to try it again. I watched it and I wasn't connecting with it.
Yeah.
You know
I-
what?
that's how I am,
I like the actors in it. The actors that they got. Vig
Well,
what's
good.
his name? Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, Viggo
Yeah.
Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen. He was in it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a good. He played.
Yeah.
He was Satan in. Oh, what the hell was the name of that movie with Christopher Walken?
He was in that movie Hidalgo.
Yeah,
That
the,
one.
the Prophecy. Have you seen that movie
No, I never seen it.
where Christopher Walken is Gabriel? Do yourself a
No.
Oh
favor.
yeah,
watch
yeah.
it.
No, I seen it a long time ago. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Viggo Mortensen was Satan.
Yeah, he's been around a while. He's
Yeah,
he's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
he was in.
Didn't he finish up the Harry Potter things because the other guy died, or no? Who
I'm
took
not
over
sure
for
on that.
the main
Oh,
wizard
the
for Harry
evil
Potter?
teacher.
No, for Harry, the main wizard for Harry Potter movies, the guy died, toward the
Oh, I
end of
didn't know
the
that.
other movies.
I know the teacher did too. What's his name? The
Oh yeah, the guy from Die Hard.
yeah, Gruber. Hans Gruber.
Yeah, right.
Hans,
I have to
Bobby.
ask my kids. They're all well read on all that. I mean, Dominic probably read all the books by the time he was 10 or 11, some 10, 9, 8. he read all of them.
I read all of Larry Flint's.
You read, yeah, you're an asshole.
Did you ever see the movie about him?
Oh
Who?
yeah, We the People.
What'd you think of it?
Larry Flint versus the People.
Yeah. The
Woody
people-
Harrelson.
The
Good, I
people
liked it.
versus Larry
It was a
Flint.
good-
Yeah, Woody Harrelson's a good actor.
And
Yeah,
what's
he's
her
very
name?
good.
was in
Yeah,
it too, right?
What's that, Trace?
Was Courtney Love involved in that film?
Yeah, she was the
I was gonna say I think she was.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
she's actually a good actress. I seen her in a couple things. I don't really
Yeah.
like her because that whole thing with
That whole thing with Hole,
no with
Cobain.
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's really a good actress
There was
though.
a rumor that she, like, you know,
Right, had something to do with that.
yeah. I don't.
I mean, obviously it wasn't enough to where there was a prosecution involved, so
Yeah.
but she was weird. But
Yeah.
like I said,
just a volatile personality.
I actually seen some of her movies. I only know of two of them that she was in, but the ones I seen, she was really good.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the
Yeah.
arts and musicians and arts, and they all have some really interesting personalities, because it's that creative part of them that allows them to be so creative.
Yeah.
They make a little, like, maybe, I don't know, eclectic, eccentric,
Yeah.
but
They
bad
don't.
way.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them have so much of that.
Yeah.
My Aunt Rachel explained it to me about that. They've got so much on their mind, so much creativity that some of them actually go mad. From
Mhm.
It's like they
all the-
have to get it out. What?
From-
Is
yeah,
that
from
what
all
happened to
I've heard that.
the guy? His last name starts with an M, and he's really bizarre. And there was a movie about like what was going on inside his head,
come here.
Ooh.
Malkovich or something, or
John Malkovich, being John Malkovich.
yeah.
Oh, that
That
was
was
a
a-
good movie. I like
That was a
that.
He
bizarre.
seems like
That was
that kind
a
of a
bizarre
guy.
movie.
That
was
was
different.
wild.
That was really bizarre. You
But
really
see,
had to
I
be
mean,
like,
that kind of like
you know,
plays
in
off
the
of what
zone.
Rick's
here.
saying.
I really like what's his name, the main character, the guy from Chicago.
Was that John Cusack?
Yeah, John Cusack.
Yeah.
Yeah, they walked through.
He's
that
he's
little door.
another good actor.
I
very
technically
good.
worked with him because I worked on Utopia,
Uh-huh.
and his character was a complete jerk in that show, you know. But
Well, even his sister is really good.
she's
too.
really good. I loved
Like,
her in
look how she was
Shameless.
on Shameless.
She
Whenever she
so
was like,
good.
yeah.
Oh my god,
He played that one.
incredible good.
Shameless.
Cusack
What's
played that serial killer with
That show,
Nick.
I love that show.
I think Nicolas Cage was the detective.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the movie now.
But Shameless is kind of funny. That show
Yeah,
is just off the charts, but it's good to see that. And but I'll watch like Chicago Fire or something, or PD, and then I watch how they cross all the district lines. And I'm like, in real life, you don't go out of your district unless you're back up.
yeah.
Oh, you know what? Going back to what I was talking about, how I was watching The Good Wife
Get up
yeah.
and then The Good Fight. Well,
Yeah.
The Good Wife and The Good Fight are supposedly in Chicago.
Oh wow,
Okay, they're
Really?
supposed to be living in Chicago.
but they didn't.
But-
They never filmed here.
Oh,
Well, I was gonna say,
Oh.
but they'll show like in the background, they'll show the cars going, the CTA cars, the L
Yeah.
cars going by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not Chicago cars. So I could tell right away. Whatever city they're in, maybe New York, I'm not sure.
Not
But
sure.
I know New York has a bigger radius on their L tracks, and their cars are longer, and they've got 3 doors per car.
Ah,
Chicago only has 2 doors per car,
okay.
and they're shorter
Huh.
because our L was built, the one that actually goes around the loop.
Right.
it was built like in the 1800s, the late 1800s.
Late 1800s, yeah.
And they actually were being pulled by horse and like not horse and buggy, but horse.
Horses.
Yeah, and they would pull them around. But that's the actual structure from the 1800s.
That's
So
amazing.
the radiuses are very short.
Short.
So all our cars have to be cut in half.
Wow.
Interesting, yeah.
So that's why they're shorter. So
Yeah,
you could tell a Chicago car only has 2 doors. And then most of the other ones, which are newer, have 3 doors.
Cool.
And that
I did not know that.
What, Laura?
So did you guys
Yeah,
was
I
a
did not either.
interesting tidbit. It's kind of nice to
Yeah.
like,
Hey, Dan, did you
What?
ever figure out how old that token was?
No, and you know what? I asked and nobody really knew about it.
Hmm.
But I'm not
That's-
surprised because
We got to get Leonard Nimoy on this.
I think that's a little too late. Is
I know.
Yeah, he's
What
Yeah.
show was that? He did
Is it some
oh,
kind of
like a
discovery?
documentary.
no, where it would be mysteries or whatever. Remember he had a weekly show?
Hmm.
unexplained mysteries.
Yeah, something
That
like
sounds
that.
right.
Is that what it was?
Was that like in the
I
80s,
think-
maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that. Not recent.
No, not recent.
Not recent.
Not this
For
year.
those of you scoring at home.
Right.
Maybe not next year or last year.
Oh, shoot. It's falling.
The 4 of the 5 of us are pushing 60. That's
So
That's
I
nuts.
work with a guy, and
You know the
and I
guy.
didn't see him. That's why I couldn't ask him, because he was on vacation and I forgot about it.
oh
But I work with a guy who's been at CTA in the rail department like I'm in
Yeah.
since 1970.
Wow.
He's been there 52 years.
That's unbelievable.
He got out of Vietnam, and his dad worked at CTA, and his dad got him in CTA.
Holy
Grandfather.
cow.
And he's been there ever since. And he's the nicest guy you've ever meet.
when's he gonna retire?
That's incredible.
He's super nice. He's a good mechanic, but he can work circles around other people.
Oh
I
yeah.
shouldn't say work circles. He can keep up with everyone else. And keep in
Wow.
mind the average age, I'm on the older end besides him in the shop. But
Well, you are old.
most of the guys are between probably 22 and maybe
42.
40. Yeah, somewhere in the 40.
Yeah, but the knowledge that guy brings, I mean,
It's a wonder he survived every whatever job
Change.
cut,
Yeah.
push outs, retire early. I
Well, you
would
know what?
imagine-
Honestly, if any of you guys ever know anybody that's younger, tell them to get a job with the CTA, because it's super hard to get fired from there. It's a union gig,
Right.
and it's not a hard one. You just got to show up.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Well, some people struggle in that department.
I'll have to tell Dominic about it.
Yeah.
No, seriously though.
Yeah.
I mean,
See, we're
I
all
should
old
actually
school
tell
though,
Eileen
Trace.
about it. Eileen works in the shop at her warehouse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rick, to
they
your
do
point,
they do
yeah.
hire they hire women as mechanics too. I'm
She
working
made, like,
with
right
3
now,
of them
she-
right now.
I believe
She's
it.
she maintains like the forklift. She like fixes
Yeah.
she, all that kind of stuff. And she
Yeah.
just took 2 classes, that had something to do with that kind of stuff. So
Gina,
Yeah.
they're gonna be hiring. Tell her to look online
Ooh,
and
for me.
put an application in for the rail division of CTA.
okay.
I could see Dan with the rubber stamp. Hired.
Right.
yeah,
I wish
mean,
I, wish
she's
I had that kind of
22.
pull.
And the
She's
man.
like not afraid to ask. Like that's how she got so far up at work. She'd go up to one of the supervisors and she'd say, I see you don't have any female forklift drivers. Can you show me how to do it?
Oh, wow.
Sure.
Huh.
she's a go-getter.
yeah.
Trailblazer, huh?
Somebody in the hazard department. She's like, oh, I'll go.
Wow.
Is she
So-
still doing the paramedic or no?
Wow.
No,
No.
I mean she got it certified and all that, but yeah,
Tell
that's
her
one thing
it's-
about Eileen's ADD makes her like She's all over the place. She was going to be a cop.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I
boy.
told her none of it's a waste because everything she does,
Oh, no,
she's
she's
learned
certified
something that
paramedic.
you can use. You know? No,
That's
she
gonna be-
just
that's
she
gonna be a tough
EMT.
Tell her it'll
That's
take
still,
her.
Gina, that's,
It'll take her a few years to get to the top pay,
Yeah.
but top pay now is almost $40 an hour,
wow.
and
And
it's
she's
full, and it's a full-time gig. It's not like like other trades where you only work like
Seasonal.
8 months out of the year.
Yeah, seasonal, where you'd have to
Right.
go collect unemployment.
And
Right.
Dominic Dominic's in a union where they do all the railroad crossings. That's what their company does. They
Hmm.
make every gear and everything. They cut the gears themselves in a machine. It's an old shop. It's like 35th in California. But
Mhm,
that's all
Nice.
they do.
mhm.
They make the railroad crossings. Every gear
Wow.
in there, the arms, the lights, the gears to make it go up and down.
He's right near I-55.
Yeah, it's
I
right
would
off.
be afraid to go to
Yeah.
work every day over that way. The
Well, you know
neighborhood's
what I mean?
changed.
They've had some things happen.
There's a film studio over that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I worked over there, and I remember
No, Dominic's job, they've actually filmed at his job in their office.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I shot I shot the 4400 there at that studio.
Yeah. So they've
Yeah.
used their office to film.
Oh, no kidding. Interesting.
So
Yeah,
they
that's
rope it
cool.
off. But like 2 weeks before that, somebody was killed over there, so
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing about these gigs, and the one show Justified, they had a shooting occur on set.
Not
people
in
had-
Chicago.
Yeah, oh yeah, people had to duck and cover.
and
Chicago
Alec
Med,
Baldwin wasn't
Chicago
even there.
Med had an incident,
I was being sarcastic, Trace.
and then
Rick, are you
Justified.
going to tell him to shut the fuck up?
No, I'll
Hey.
never do that again.
Hey!
Ever.
And, and then another.
I almost went to confession for,
That would have been interesting.
Father, I
Right.
told my friend to shut the fuck up.
Hey, Mike, I don't know if you saw Tracy, but Mike went into the morning confessional on last week's call. Was it last week or the
Yeah.
week before?
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
he went in I've never seen him more sincere in my entire life.
I
And then
almost cried.
Juice missed the whole thing.
I know.
Oh no.
But you know what?
Oh, Mike offered up an apology to Juice.
Oh, like
he
beyond an
did.
apology. It was
Yeah.
Well,
like,
I just apologized to you, Trace. Doesn't that mean anything?
Oh,
yes,
it does.
because you were sincere.
No, I
I was
appreciate it.
sincere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even when you said it, I was kind of shocked by it, but I
Oh,
was
I
like,
felt like
I
shit too.
just
I-
like-
Listen, he's been talking about it for 2 weeks. Like, man, I wish I would have never said that. I was, I was joking around, but being a smart ass. And, he goes, and after that, he said, you were kind of quiet for about a good half hour. He goes, and then I was like, oh, shit.
yeah.
Well,
yeah, I just kind of like, okay, I better tone it down because I'm out of
No,
control.
see, that's where I fucked up.
Rick might have smoked right before he said that. So, you don't know.
but the joy of our group is we're friends. We
Yeah.
understand that. I don't think if I ever say anything, I never mean malice. And if it comes out the wrong way or is understood the wrong way,
Yeah,
not
sometimes
what-
the adrenaline starts flowing,
and
Yeah.
the joy.
You have to
friendship-
admit, we all have our moments of our highs on here whenever, you
And I'm always high, so
right. So we're playing catch up.
I mean, honestly, nobody should ever take anything serious, especially like what Rick, when Rick said that.
no.
I thought it was
and-
just funny, actually.
Well, yeah, but in the same sense, I think Tracy, you took it a little bit. Whoa, and
Well, plus, he could have been tired from working them hours, and you never know what
Yeah.
everybody's going through.
Yeah.
But I'm not speaking for
and
you.
I
I'm
might
just-
not have had my nap that day, Trace. So
Right, yeah.
and I quit drinking, and
It's like that.
it's no excuse. Though.
Yeah,
I mean,
8 years ago, not last week, not 2 weeks ago.
yeah, but it's still,
That was a like punch.
I know.
Yeah, but Rick, everybody needs a villain, and you were the villain.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're our villain.
No,
You're a
Rendell's the villain.
honey.
Not every week. Shut up.
Honey.
Rendell's
Honey
the villain.
Bunny.
He's not here to defend himself, but he's
Who?
the villain. He's the real
No,
villain.
you got to make sure he can defend himself.
Yep.
Who's that?
Actually, Mike was very sweet and sincere too,
Yeah.
because
Super.
sometimes things come out.
Yeah, I
We
hope
don't-
Judy's okay. I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
thinking about that.
Did you watch?
She's
any of
probably
last
back
week?
at hey, she's probably back at work because school's back in session.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, all the kids went back this week.
Yeah, my daughter went back yesterday.
Yeah.
What is she, a
Tracy.
senior now, Gina?
Who? Nora?
Yeah.
Where does she go to school?
Plainfield Central.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're in
How's
the
their football team
Plainfield
this year?
School District.
So yeah, I'm unincorporated Joliet.
Okay.
So they go to Plainfield schools. So what's funny is, I probably told you guys this before, the people across the street from me, from my curb to theirs, if they call the police department or the fire department, Joliet shows up for them. If I call, Plainfield comes to my house, and Will County
Huh.
Sheriff.
That's
'Cause
so
I'm
weird how that
unincorporated.
is.
Which
Oh, you're
is
right on the
response time, Joliet or Plainfield?
What?
What's faster response time, Joliet or Plainfield?
Well, if
Dominoes.
it's cops, if it's police, it would be Joliet, because the sheriff has to cover all of Will County, and Will County's pretty friggin' big.
It
So
is
if it's
good.
really bad, you better tell your
Why?
neighbor, call 911.
Yes, drag the
Yeah.
body across the street to the neighbors.
That'd be a good film, you know.
This
Yeah,
will all
right.
be edited
Good
out.
scene in a film. You gotta bring it over to the other side.
Yeah, right.
Why?
Well,
Well,
that's
yeah,
like that one intersection, on, trying to think if it's 87th. I think it's 87th and Cicero, because the corner is
Chicago.
Burbank and Oak
Burbank,
Lawn and
Oklahoma.
hometown in Chicago.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah,
It
that's
depends on
interesting.
where your car lands if you get in an accident in that intersection, to who's going to
Yep.
respond to it.
Huh. You know, I never thought about that. That
Yeah,
there's that convergence at that corner.
right there. Yeah, Burbank, Oak Lawn,
That's
hometown in
weird.
Chicago.
It's like the four states that, what are the four states that meet like that?
The four corners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arizona, Nevada,
New
Utah.
Mexico.
Okay,
it-
Googlers.
I always forget the Wyoming.
no Wyoming's way up.
I was
there.
I was picking
Colorado?
one for the team, and I was
Yes.
doing the Google Assistant, but now you're back, so we're gonna give that job back to you.
Yeah,
If you can handle it, Gina.
I'm always trying to find stuff
Not me.
too.
There you go, Laura. You're the new
No,
official.
Tracy's looking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, let me officially look here.
I
So
would
we
ask
could be-
Marty, because Marty would know, but he's sleeping.
Wake them up.
Hey, Mart,
Don't
Mark.
wake them up.
Yeah.
do you know what states are at the four corners?
Oh, Larry, Curly, and Shemp.
Shut up.
He's like, you woke me up for this shit.
There's
No,
a
he
four
was talking-
corners in. Imagine that.
I think me and my wife honeymoon there.
Come on, it's got a list of states.
But you want to have
List it.
sex in 4 different states all at once?
Woohoo.
Oh, with her? Oh my God.
Well,
Ugh.
you know, I have a better idea, Tracy. We could look up map of the United States.
Ah,
Hey,
okay.
there's juice all
There you go.
We've got
That's why you are a great
I
ahead
think
of
it's
us.
New Mexico.
Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah.
There you go. You got it.
Nice.
Nice.
And then you have
And you can stand on it, right? The corners.
Yeah, there's a that was
Like
on
a
a
little
show.
marker.
Yeah, there was a movie about, or a program with that.
Yeah, I used to
Remember
like that show.
they were in the RV.
How states got their shape. You ever watch that?
No.
It used to be called How States Got Their Shape, and it would tell the whole history of why the border was the way it was, you know. I always thought that was really cool. That was really, like, you know, just like somewhat useless information, but it was always, you know, kind of fascinating.
well, like that Michigan is two peninsulas, the upper P, because a lot of people think of Florida as a peninsula, but they forget Michigan is peninsula, top and bottom.
Yeah, that's cool. That like, yeah, it's like that little trivia thing to it.
And like when you're from Illinois, you hold up your one hand, and Lake Michigan is to your east, and you say, I'm from here. But in Michigan, you hold up your right hand
Yeah.
because Lake's on the
Yeah.
other side. Say, I'm from here.
Yeah, they always talk about Michigan as the mitt.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny when I used to talk, because we used to go to Door County all the time, and people would ask
Great
where Door
fishing.
County was, and that's how I would talk about Door County. Said if you put your hand up and you
Yeah,
look at the lake, I said Lake Michigan's here,
yeah.
and then what is it? Green Bay is right here, and
Yeah,
then Door
right.
County's that little peninsula.
Ooh, every time I hear that word, I get hives.
What
What?
peninsula?
Why did you get
County or
arrested there?
Green
peninsula?
Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Ugh.
Okay.
When the next time you're like not with it, we're gonna give you a tattoo that says Green Bay.
And what's with all these
Never.
Illinois Packer
Never.
fans? What's up with that?
With
What's
what?
that?
Illinois Packer fans.
Well, they're just trying to, root for a team that's going to win.
Oh, here we go with this
My
shit.
dad had a theory that
Look at Gina.
Fucking cheeseheads. You're born to hate them. I don't know. They've never really done anything to
there
me.
was when I went to Northern, this is 1985, and there was a Packer fan on our floor. I lived in the dorms, and that was a great year to be a Bears fan, obviously, but he would always be talking about the Packers like they were the special, and
Yeah.
they were just, although they did play the Bears really tough in both games, home and away, I give them that. They were terrible. And he was always going on and on. Like, the Packers suck. And they really did. Except they always gave the Bears a good game,
Well,
What?
back then-
Here's what, I'm not a big sports fan. I don't care about it really. But what I got to say is that Green Bay almost always has legendary quarterbacks. And they keep
Yeah.
them for a really long time. Where
Yeah.
Chicago, they're disposable.
Terrible. The Bears probably have the worst quarterback history of basically any team.
No, you got that in Cleveland.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Here's a toss up.
And
Well,
maybe
you got
Detroit.
quite a few teams though,
I mean,
But
the
Dan
Bears,
is right. Dan, the elite quarterbacks, you think of Green Bay, you think of Dallas,
yeah,
Pittsburgh,
yeah. And the Bears have been, I don't know, it's like the curse of Sid Luckman. Like, there hasn't been like a good quarterback over a long period of time. Ever.
And then you had the
Whatever.
85 Bears, like you said,
Yeah.
and management screwed that up. They could have been a dynasty.
Yeah, you're
They
right.
don't want to spend any money.
That's right.
It was,
They let Jay Hilgenberg walk for $60,000.
yeah,
I mean,
Wow.
come on.
yeah.
You can get that at McDonald's now.
Yeah.
And like with McMahon, he was always out of shape.
What's
And he
there's a
was
trivia
small.
about him.
And he was small.
he-
I
he's
stood
got-
next to him.
He's got 2 Super Bowl rings. Who was the second team with?
Oh yeah, wasn't he with shoot?
Come on.
I remember. Oh boy, I remember that being true. I can't remember what team he was on.
Packers.
No kidding.
He backed up Favre.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't even remember that.
Oh, that was
I
when we
remember
found out he signed with Green Bay. It was like,
That was like Steve
God.
McMichael finished his career with the Packers.
McMichael?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did. He's in a bad way.
Well, he was originally undrafted free agent with New England.
Oh wow.
They cut him, and
Yeah.
Buddy Ryan saw something in him.
Yeah, that's so cool. Man, Buddy Ryan was just something else.
Oh, he was
was really
not a
something.
good head coach, but a defensive
Yeah,
coordinator. He
yeah.
was-
Oh yeah. Right. You're
And
right.
him and
Guys-
Dickett just did not get along.
Oh, it was like 2 head coaches. It was
Yeah.
I'm faith fast, so I'm gonna bow out, guys.
You took a nap today.
I did.
Yeah, past
But
midnight.
I'm getting tired.
It is getting late.
Yeah, I was
But-
thinking we should probably try to wrap
Fade
it
to
up
black.
around 11ish.
That was a good show today. Hey, I found a new spot, man. I like the couch.
There you go.
You could see most of your shirt too.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
everybody
look
wants
comfy.
to see the cock.
And the Poochie came out too.
Is
Well,
that like
she's
one of
always-
those,
We never
One
saw
of
her
those
before. I
things,
don't think we saw her.
the picture is bigger? Never mind, I don't know.
Objects in the mirror are
Yeah, exactly.
larger.
Are
Yeah,
not
we have a
larger
show
than
about
they
it.
appear.
Yeah. So we missed what we missed. Juice and Judy.
Gina, is that
and-
a squirt?
It is.
I was gonna post something earlier about that.
Oh,
The
good. Let
guy,
me
the
drink
guy
it
asked
first.
his girlfriend, "What do you want to do later?" She's holding up the squirt bottle.
Woo.
Well, that's on him if he can make it happen.
Well, no, it's a
Sounds like
team thing. You know?
Well, yeah, because you need both parts.
Yeah,
Studies have
You
shown.
can't squirt without a hose. No, that's not what I
that's
meant.
right.
Oh, whatever.
There you
Without
go.
a little nozzle.
My mom used to drink that with gin all the time.
So did my
Ah.
mom.
Really?
Gin and squirt, yeah.
Yeah,
What?
they get you
Where's the
fucked up real quick.
all right. Let's hit it.
Well, everyone have a great.
You too. I don't have anything. All I
need a
got is.
refill.
All right. You could
Just
just.
like suck on your
There you
cock.
go.
Need a refill.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
You guys are awesome as usual.
See y'all next
Thanks
week.
for having us.
See
Enjoy
you
the
later.
weekend.
Fade to
Bye.
black.